All right, what's up, everybody? It's Friday. It's Open Comps. We did it. We're here, and we made
Another one in the books.
We survived.
Another week down.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah, we
Friday
did
the
put a stick to the home.
13th, so we are all on the lookout for people in hockey masks.
Black cats and ladders and mirrors and shit.
You know, I think Jason would have gotten a lot further if he didn't wear the mask.
Jason would have got a lot further. He would have got his killing spree would have got a lot shorter if he went after Camp Redneck.
Camp Redneck.
What do you think the people at Camp Redneck would have had?
Shotguns and moonshine.
Yeah, he probably would have. Yeah.
That's what I would have if I was at Camp Redneck.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, brother.
They probably would have
Come
had
and take
pickup
it.
trucks that actually worked because I don't know.
And a
what it is.
boat.
Yep.
It's like anytime you're in a horror movie, like let's get in the car and go. It's like that car will never work.
starts. Yeah.
It never works.
Plus, where are you gonna go? Right? Like, you're just gonna get down the road and it's gonna be blocked by some random tree.
Mm-hmm. It'll be a spike strip.
Right? Like, yeah, the cops left a spike strip or something. You're still screwed either way.
Or he'll be in the car somehow.
Right? Yeah, in the back seat, like in the
Yeah.
in Spider-Man.
What was that? I think it was a Geico commercial or something. It's like the people are all running in the horror movie. It's like we could go hide in the upstairs like haunted attic. We go there. It's like, guys, why don't we just get in the running car? The car was on with the lights on, ready to go. They're like, what are you, crazy? Let's go hide in the tool shed full of saw blades. And they're all hiding back there, and the killer's like just shaking his head at him like, you idiots.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
All right, what's everyone drinking tonight? I guess I have to start, don't I?
You do, and there's no music.
You do.
Yeah. I should really get some of those things from Manic. But yeah, I'm just, perfect.
That's not gonna work.
That's the high
Alright,
quality we got.
That's
So-
as close as we're gonna get.
We'll intro it. We got this.
Yeah,
Right?
and that.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So just drinking some Crown Royal. Some sipping it by itself, and then also got some Coke I'm putting in there too. So
Mm.
doing the alternating one. LB, what do you got?
I'm starting the night off with an old fashioned.
Ooh, got the orange peel in there.
An orange peel in there. Yeah. There's 2 cherries. I used maple syrup instead of simple syrup. So
Well, yeah. I mean, probably
why wouldn't
illegal.
That
not
actually
to
sounds
there.
like a really good idea, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I like it.
Then Redline, what do you got?
I am actually drinking honey myself.
Just straight.
Yep, straight out of the bottle.
Local honey.
No, it's exotic honey.
Ah,
No.
how exotic?
Yeah.
Like
Japanese? Super exotic.
it's from the.
It is Cantonese, actually.
Cantonese.
Yeah,
Mm.
from the land of
Canton.
Canton.
I'm trying to think of like an exotic dancers joke to go with that, and I can't.
It's hard
coming
to
up with
do
nothing. Yeah,
sometimes.
just. All right, so Redline is drinking honey. It's just like we're talking about just legitimate, just straight bee honey here, right? There's no. This is a code for some.
He's carving it right out of the hive.
I was like, this
Yeah,
is code
actually,
for something
I-
you got from a dispensary or anything. This is just straight honey.
Yeah, man, it's honey.
I was like, oh man, he's like just drinking honey oil. I don't think that's how you're supposed to do that.
I mean, it was way more interesting than saying I'm drinking Ice Mountain bottled water. Right?
Oh,
See? Now it's
True.
worse. I ruined it by telling
so
the
you
truth.
actually were drinking just. Okay, that's fine. Well, you know what? Dihydrogen oxide is pretty good.
Yeah, except that it causes
Dangerous.
rust.
It's dangerous in high quantities too.
Mm-hmm.
And low quantities.
Yeah.
Facts,
That
facts.
substance right there you got is the reason they shut down most of the hazing with colleges, because that one kid.
Yeah, that one kid with the water.
Yeah. Which is actually fucked up. So it's like that's probably better they did that. Skyrock, what do you got?
I am drinking a delicious, high class, high quality beverage by the name of A&W Root Beer.
Hell yeah. That's
Delightful.
that's
Hell
the
yeah,
one.
dude.
dude. That's
I
the
used to
hard
work
shit.
at
Hell
A&W.
yeah, brother.
Everyone's going hard tonight.
You know what?
Vlad, what
I
do you
used to work at an A&W root beer stand when I
Yeah?
was
You know,
like 17.
this is unfortunately canned A&W, but I do. There's no A&Ws local to me. I don't think.
Oh, like
Actually, there's one
the
at the
fast
mall,
food?
but yeah. But like when I lived in La
Sorry, the
Crosse,
what?
Wisconsin, there was one that you could go to where you could literally just get like a whole jug of like fresh made root beer to take home. That is delicious.
Yeah, the tap
That
A&W
sounds
is
crazy.
better at the so, but I think they put like I think they put some vanilla in theirs. It's a little different of the syrup recipe. Vlad, what do you got?
I am rocking a rum and coke. Sadly, it's not the Cuban rum I was able to enjoy in Iceland, but it is a mix of Jamaican, Trinidadian, I think, and Barbadian rum, and it's really good.
Hmm. And
Honestly, with the amount of effort that like customs put into like looking at my stuff when I came back, you could have probably gotten away with bringing that back. Like, did they actually look at any of your stuff you imported?
No, I even I even was technically over the limit. I declared it, and they didn't give a shit.
That's the same thing happened with my friend Kale. Like, I wasn't over the limit, but he absolutely was, and like he expected, hassles and to have to pay taxes, and like they just completely didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
I feel
the
like
lady was like, "You declare anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got 2 bottles of booze at 1,400 milliliters. I don't know if I'm over the limit or not, but if I am, fine. I'll pay the $5 I have to pay tax on it." And they were like, we don't give a fuck. Just go through.
yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like they
one
probably
liter's the
don't
limit.
care if it's something that's legal here. They probably don't give a shit.
Well, like if you're over $800 worth of stuff that you're bringing back too, you're supposed to pay taxes on it when you bring it back into
Oh.
the States on like what you go over. Hale was over that because he went on a bit of a shopping spree there, and they just completely gave zero fucks.
Hmm.
Well, I was also doing my global entry interview, so I kind of figured they might give me a little more third degree over that. So I'm like, I'll just play it safe.
Yeah, I learned a lot about how that experience actually works, and like it was way faster and way easier than I expected.
Oh yeah, just going through O'Hare though was a night. Coming into O'Hare, their immigration and customs facilities it's just a massive shit show. It took an hour for our luggage to get offloaded onto the international baggage claim, and then the line was so long to recheck. The United guy directing traffic just told me to go to the Terminal 1, which is their domestic terminal, and recheck over there.
Damn.
And
Yeah,
he was right.
I mean, from stepping off the plane to going through customs to grabbing our bags was 20 minutes.
Oh, Boston was even faster. When Delon and I came in through Boston last year, we were on the morning flight, and it was probably 15 minutes. We were through it actually, she had global entry and I did it, and we got through it about the same time. I actually was a little slower because I was trying to find out where they were doing interviews.
Shot. Got a redeemed shot because he's got points. So cheers to Friday.
Cheers.
Cheers. So we went through customs, like talked to the actual agent, and then we're released out to the area where we picked up our checked bags, and then from there just literally walked out of the airport. It's like, oh, okay, this is easy.
Darwin said
Yeah.
if you have minor customs violations, they'll ban your global entry into the country.
Yep. That's actually one of the
Jesus.
questions in my global entry interview was, have you ever had a customs violation?
Although that but we guys are talking about, I don't think that'd be a violation. That's just hey, you have too much, you have to pay a tax. Like, violation is trying to get something you're not supposed to.
No, technically, if you bring it in and you don't declare it and they search you, that technically is a violation. Even if they might fine you like $100 or confiscate the booze, it's technically a violation.
Oh, so here's a fun one for you. So Kale had some issues going through security at Keflavik Airport coming on the flight out. He apparently had a multi-tool kit in his backpack that he didn't realize that was in there that had several knife blades on it. And he got that through TSA and all the way to Iceland Had no idea it was at the bottom of his backpack because he also uses it for like hiking and shit. But Icelandic version of TSA did catch it, and they're like, no, this has to go unchecked.
Yeah, I got caught with the little cork blade on a bottle opener. I got a Bastion bottle opener, and the little like 1 inch blade you can pull out to cut the wine bottles or whatever, or the champagne bottles. They caught that because I didn't even know it had that on it. I thought it was just the corkscrew pop out. And they're like, "Oh, this can't go through." I was like, "That little thing? Okay." I mean,
Yeah.
So my
I think
airports are
backpack
TSA
as a bludgeoning
checkpoint.
weapon would be more dangerous than that, but I was like, I had to ship it to myself.
My airport's TSA area has tons of photos of like this gun was confiscated by TSA agent, blah blah blah, and there's like 20 of them. It's like, hey, dumbasses, yes, you live in a red state. Don't bring your guns through TSA.
Yeah, you have to check them. I mean, I don't know. Anyone that thinks they can bring a gun through carry-on that's not like an actual TSA agent or a federal marshal or something, like I don't know what they're thinking, but
That happens at the border crossing too. They come into
Well, like,
Canada.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah, I've
I've
heard
seen like those
stories.
shows where it's like Canadian border, Americans drive up and they have like handguns or ARs because they're in like Montana where those are all perfectly legal. It's like, you can't bring this shit into Canada.
So
Yeah.
one of the things that's fun though, that like I hope that I never ever have to deal with, if you do like fly domestically in the US and check a firearm, you're supposed to demonstrate to them like as you're locking it up that like there's no ammo in it. So you're supposed to like pull back the slider, show that there's not a round in the chamber or anything, and then lock it in front of them. And I'm like, so they want you to take a gun out like while you're in the airport and like show it to them. And I'm just like, I just don't like anything about this process.
yeah. I mean, I get it though, because it's not illegal to put a gun in checked baggage, as long as it's properly stored.
It's just the whole awkwardness of taking
the
a gun out
optics
while
of it
you're at
doesn't
the
look good,
airport.
but it's like I'm glad that they make people do that, so you don't just like put a loaded weapon in there. But
Well,
I mean,
and
more along the lines of like you just like I wouldn't want that in the cargo hold just randomly. I don't know why it would just randomly go off, but
it wouldn't unless it was heavily damaged. But
They also explicitly
what's-
say you must unload it before putting it in. And so, like, for instance, if I was transporting a firearm, like if I was transporting a handgun, I'd probably just pull the slide off and have the frame and the slide just right next to each other. So it's obvious, hey, this is unloaded.
yeah. Well, it's got to be.
It's physically impossible to act. It's physically impossible for, even if all the safeties fail, for it to fire a round.
yeah.
Eve news though, a little bit of stuff.
Serpentis capital prices have gone up.
I
The
saw someone
BPC
post something about
prices.
that. What's the? Well, they just were talking about the What is it? Is it the? Do the Serpentis have a Titan or do they have a? It's a super
Yes,
carrier?
Titan, Super, and Dreadnought.
So what went up about that? They changed the production cost of them.
They changed the blueprint cost because the general consensus is with when Havoc comes out, they're going to adjust the Serpentis capital build cost, which right now is insane, down to something more reasonable.
Why is that one specifically? Whereas like the
So
Moloch
there's-
is the Moloch not crazy?
So there's
how it is.
two different ideas and how the faction titans and supers and all any of the faction capitals get priced. So some of them, the BPC rarity is the main driver of the cost, such as the Moloch, and other BPCs are more common and easier to get, but the build itself is more expensive.
Okay, so they offset a little bit then.
Yeah.
So right now, for instance, before the changes, a Vanquisher blueprint was like 50 billion, roughly. Actually, it may have been 150, but the build cost was closer to 1 trillion ISK. The thing that caused the build cost to be so high was there was a specific module, a specific part called a Serpentis Capital microprocessor. That only drops from Serpentis Capital spawns. So that was the bottleneck. For Garista and Blood Raider caps, your bottleneck were the Sotios. So, for instance, like a Komodo blueprint was around 300 billion, and a Moloch was probably around 400 billion for the blueprint. And then you're looking at around 300 billion in build cost. And those don't have specific parts that are gated. It's just like building any other Titan, except more parts are required. And so with Havoc, they're when they release Havoc, the Garista's capitals, and this per CCP at FanFest, are going to be added to the Garista version of the Deathless LP store. So,
Oh yeah.
same with the Angel one. So, what the consensus I've seen is that they're just rebalancing Serpentis capitals to go with all that.
Yeah. It's
The
coming
build
up too.
cost.
We're like what, a month out from Havoc?
Yeah, roughly.
It's about,
Yeah,
because
actually.
November 14th.
And 2
believe
months
so.
out from getting to do the what are they calling it, a beta? Yeah, the
Oh,
early beta.
yeah, it's a
Playtest,
closed
the
closed
Vanguard
beta, I
playtest.
Or
think.
yeah, Vanguard.
Or no,
yeah.
it's like, oh, I think it's closed out. Oh, maybe it's playtest. I don't know.
Beta,
I couldn't
essentially.
remember. I couldn't remember like what officially they were terming it as.
Yeah, I think it's a little early for. Well, I don't know. Didn't they say they were hoping to
Well,
release it next year?
they
So
did
that-
it-
I could see a
Oh
beta.
yeah,
bit.
Havoc is when it's going to go live for people with Omega accounts.
Yeah.
Also, technically, today is 1 year till Vegas 2024.
Yes.
It's right around the corner.
Oh, I know. I'll be so
It's
happy to hear
never
that.
too early for yeah, actually, we're starting now to fade from FanFest, and now the missing of Vegas can begin.
The cycle of life continues.
The dude, I'm stoked though.
Has
I'm
Delana
ready.
put
I'm
out
ready for
dates yet?
Gator Fleet. Gator Fleet. Let's go.
Gator Fleet, Ham Gators.
I refuse to fly a Gator because I hate Florida. I hate the Florida Gators with a passion.
Yeah, but the Gator's a cool ship. I think that's probably the coolest ship out of that whole, all the new ships coming out. I mean,
I love the Angel Titan. That thing's gonna be fucking nuts.
like the Gator.
So here's the
looks like-
thing.
Okay.
The croissant.
So here's the thing. I looked at the math for the Angel Titan, and if you fit Quake on it and Arties, which is how it's intended to be run, you're getting like a 400 to 500k alpha.
Is that good?
That's
It
pretty good.
basically means that you could probably pop an
It-
active
it-
tank capital, like a Phoenix or a Rev running a crab site in like 4 or 5 shots.
Well, that's the alpha though. But then what's the cycle time on those? I mean, probably XL
Yeah.
RD cycle time. I don't know what
It's
that is. but-
probably 15 seconds
So
a
I mean,
shot.
if they're not in siege or something, then they could get repped up if there's someone around. But I mean, if you're dropping a Titan on someone, I mean, wouldn't you just DD and first? and then-
Yeah, but if you have already, you don't have the 1 minute that you can't move or warp with a Doomsday, the 5 minutes you can't tether, you can't dock, you can't jump.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're waiting for 4 cycles of your XL RDs, that's more than a minute. So I think that.
Yes,
I mean,
but remember though,
I guess if you
if
know people are
Sector
coming.
lands on grid, you could just e-sino out. You're not stuck.
Well, yeah, but when you jump in, you're gonna have the blue time, or not the blue time, the red timer is gonna be about a minute on your jump timer anyway. So now you can warp off to a safe or something and cloak up and hope for the best. But I don't know. I'm just like I think that Titan's cool. I'm not as excited about that because I know I'll never own one because.
Also, I will say this: I talked
probably
about
600 or 700 billion. There's no way I'm making that much.
probably 5 or 6.
Yeah, and that's where it's going to
well.
probably settle to after. Like initially, the first ones are probably going to be like. I bet the first one goes for $1 trillion.
Probably. But I talked to both CCP
With a
Swift
T?
and CCP Fozzie, and the original pre-alpha build was actually ridiculously broken of that Angel Titan. Like you were so fast and agile.
Shot.
You could warp in. With Artie, you could pop a ratting dread and warp out before a Hector could decloak and point you. Like a Hector on the grid, you could warp in, pop this thing, and get out before you could get tackled.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so what you see has been very nerfed from the original design.
I mean, the model
yeah.
though, like I'm excited for the model because eventually someone will have one, and it'll just be sweet to see it. Although I don't think people are going to use those even for bridging, even though bridging's fairly safe, just in case. Because I feel like those will. I don't know if anyone would ever use that.
You'd have to.
I still see
Like
the
an AT
Komodo
ship.
probably being the most used, just because the Komodo's got the fighter base, so you can actually like use it for things like crab saves.
Because I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it's not like people never use the faction titans, but how often? I mean, first of all, how often do you see titans dropped on things? Hardly ever. And when you do, how often do you see like a Moloch or something getting dropped on things? Almost never. And even in the big Titan fights, people aren't usually going to bring those because it's like, why would I bring that? It's got a little bit more tank than a regular Titan, but everyone's going to shoot you first. So you're going to get all the Doomsdays in the face and die anyway in your twice as expensive Titan. So I just don't think any, like, people are going to get those for the novelty of it. And I don't, like, I'm not saying they won't be used, but I don't see them getting used, like, hardly at all.
You say amusingly, you say that, and then I went and just looked on Zkill because I was curious.
Someone lost a
there was
Moloch
this,
today.
there were no a
Or a
Moloch solo
Komodo.
killed a Thanatos, but then both tunes are in PH, so
Oh, so they
in the
killed
same
their
corp.
own. Yeah, they were just. It's probably someone fucking around with a Corpy and then whoops, DD was
Oh,
too
and
strong.
actually, some of my old friends in Wrecking Crew last month they did drop a Moloch. I know exactly whose it is too.
Yeah, I'm not saying it'll
They
never get used. I
well
just don't feel like it'll get used very often.
it was actually this isn't an uncommon use for them, but at 10:57 server time, so right before downtime, they dropped the hammer on an Erebus, and in that drop was a Moloch. And like doing a downtime drop like that is pretty low risk because
Yeah.
server immediately goes down right afterwards.
And I'm sure if the group is willing to drop that, they know they're gonna have field superiority. They know there's nothing else around in the area that they have to worry about and all that other stuff. So it's pretty. Yeah, if it's a safe
Well,
drop, I could see them doing that just for bragging rights. But
Well, this is just the way that super hunting works nowadays in low sec. Because again, this is in low sec, so like you don't have to worry about dictors or anything. And if worst case is you leave your shit logged off there after downtime for a while.
yeah, I'm just hoping someone will use one for a bridge just because it looks cool. And bridging is pretty safe practice. So I'm just hoping it's like, all right, everyone get on the Titan at bridge, and someone's just gonna have one of those. What is the Angel Titan called? What are they calling it?
Azariel.
Azariel.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm
Yeah,
just.
I
Hoping,
mean,
I'm
I've got
hoping someone
bridge
just use that as their bridging Titan, just because like a flex thing, saying like look what I got. Because if it's sitting on a keep star in tether, that's pretty safe. You don't have to worry about getting blown up. But
The
top
kill
killer
I
and
was
a
talking
Moloch.
the kill I was talking about those posted in chat.
Ew, yeah, it's so new to the game. But the top killer in a Moloch is the guy that's in my corp, so. And it's not even close.
and then you said the Komodo that's the Serpentis one.
Vanquisher is Serpentis.
Vanquisher,
Komodo's
that's right.
Garista.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I've ever seen one of those. Yeah, and so yeah, I'm stoked for Havoc. I think it'll be fun. Gators look cool. I'll never the names for the new Angel ships are just what's this battle cruiser? The Kazriel, Kiriel. Fuck.
I don't know.
They all end in like eel, but basically the tornado, not the tornado, the hurricane one looks pretty fucking cool. Although it's not a hurricane, but it's I feel like you'd use it kind of like a hurricane. It's gonna be
Fast hurricane.
a fast hurricane, but you're gonna put on auto cannons and shit on it, I'm assuming. So, or arties, but I think that would be fun to fly. But I don't know. I just alligator, man. I want those.
Yep, me too.
Crimson Harvest.
That's why
Oh.
we're signing up for Garistas as soon as it drops.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dabble in the the Zarzak stuff. See what that is. Kind of interesting.
They put a video out for Havoc. It's in the chat there.
For the Zarzak. Yeah.
Yep. It's just a little like 7.5 minute talk with devs about Zarzak and the Deathless, and
Okay. Yeah, because at first I thought it was gonna be like its own space and you have to do all this stuff in space, but it's essentially you're gonna go in there, get missions to go do in faction warfare. So I guess that means I'll have to. Has anyone made Eve history lately? Not that I can't think of any like groundbreaking moments other than that Titan fight a few, like what, 3-4 weeks back. I don't know if that was Eve history, but that's just one of the larger. Well, I guess it was like the largest Dread fight. So yeah, I guess that was a landmark thing. But that was a while back. Since then, I don't know. There's been fights going on a bit. Still war going on in the north. Structures getting blown up and reinforced, and some fights here and there. Most of them in EU time zone. Fucking.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. It just sucks. You see like good pings, and it's like this should be fun. Oh, I'm at work.
Yeah, it's like all I get in the evenings is reinforcing forts and Asterhuses and shit like that, and like Ensiblexes. And then during the midday, like 11 or noon, so I'm at work, and it's like, yeah, all right, we're getting final timer on this, big fight. Thanks for showing up, everybody. It's like, fuck me. All this shit happens in EU time zone. Nothing happens in US.
You should make your own action happen, Graydon.
I know.
Pick
We
your
got some
own fleets
ships.
out.
We
Be
should
your own man.
we gotta do some kind of roam some point.
I'm going to Rome right now, dude.
I ain't going to roam right now.
What?
Not right now.
Why not right now? Live on stream, we can talk show while we roam.
I won't be able to focus.
Are you able to focus anyways?
No.
Well,
But
then what's the
I'll be
difference?
even less focused.
What's the difference? No focus, less focus? But 0 minus 0 is 0 still. You know?
Also, I kind of want to get some like bigger ships to roam in than frigates.
So just get a bigger ship to roam in.
We can do a carrier roam sometime.
Gross. That'd be so slow warping gate to gate.
Yeah.
Just one cycle of that afterburner if you're fit right.
Ugh.
After you put a large MWD on there, it gets you right up to speed.
Yeah, but the warp speed of the Titanic.
I mean, just don't be poor and have
put
high
a
grade
bunch of-
ascendancies then.
Put a bunch of Tech 2 hyperspatials in. You'll be good.
Do you guys really not have high grade ascendancies on your chest? Come on, jeez.
Has any territory changed hands? Well, it wasn't a Titan fight. There was actually no Titans in that fight. It was all Dreadnoughts. That was the record-setting thing. Not really any space changed hands. It just turned into maybe it's mostly just Fortizars and Citadels getting blown up. I don't know if any actual space has been conquered yet. I think they're kind of just more going about like they cleared Venal of most of the structures, and now they're kind of clearing out shit in Declan and moving up that way. So, I mean, it's Citadel warfare. It's slow as fuck. Takes a month to get one constellation cleared out. So, got it, Dave.
Got you covered, dude.
Where's Dave?
Hell yeah.
God damn it.
That happens.
Is there anyone here that's in
Blame
Imperium?
Dave.
Dominarch's Imperium, but he's not here tonight.
Yeah, someone was asking about it. It's like, is anyone here in it or Imperium?
No. As far as I know, it's not. I'm not
doing whatever.
Yeah, I'm not super knowledgeable, but I mean, it is still. They come up and fight against us sometimes. They have jump clones set up in DO6, and they'll come and
they
fight.
use them to fight? That's not the unit I know.
Yeah, they'll fight a bit, but so it's like they're not part of the Imperium, but they're still blue to Imperium, and they kind of do a lot of stuff alongside of the Imperium. So it's almost like they never left. They've just left in name and practice, but apparently there's a little bit of animosity. I didn't know, but I guess Init killed Dom's carrier or stole his. They stole his carrier. They didn't kill it. They stole it.
Killed it.
They killed it? Oh, I thought he said they stole it.
Oh, they
I don't
stole
know,
it.
They might have
Oh,
stolen it.
they stole it. So they stole his carrier, and then now there's a bunch of like that. Apparently, was a bit of a sticking point for a lot of people. So now there's like some
That was
animosity between the
why-
sides. But
That was why Init left the Imperium. Was because of those allegations.
really, okay, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
shit.
couldn't handle it.
Dom starting shit by letting people steal
Couldn't
his
take the
shit.
heat.
God damn it, Dom.
Right? I mean,
So-
God bless him for doing what no one else could, right? Pulling
What-
dark shines away from the succulent heat of the Imperium.
Mm.
What started it with
Mwah,
Dom
mwah.
was when I think Shines and basically Init leadership made the decision to let some of their structures go abandoned that had been used like for like one of the wars or a fight or something, and like took all the loot that dropped from it, and some of the shit that dropped was Dom's.
Oh,
Actually,
they were former
belonged
Bastion.
to Bastion.
And that's
And
what
they
it
were
was.
left in the care of the initiative for safekeeping, and they did not safekeep them.
they looted him.
They
They
literally
blew them up.
Yeah.
And looted the shit. The fuckers. How
Hmm.
could they do that?
Easily.
That is crazy, yeah.
Oh well. How
But-
rude.
Yeah, I mean they're still in Fountain. They're still doing shit. I'm wondering. I'm interested to see like if I mean, what's the meme? The cracks are starting to form or whatever. Maybe we'll get a Fountain War 3.0.
Oh, that would
I
be
doubt it.
interesting.
Yeah, it's like that'd be so fun because every time the Fountain War happens, it's like goons attacking their former allies in Fountain, having to take it over. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like it's not like the old Dominion Sov days though. Like now with Citadels, like conquest wars, taking a whole region takes forever. It is a slog. Like if you actually want to take over a region that an entire large group is based in, it's at least a half-year endeavor, if not more. So I don't know. It's Citadels are nice. I really like them, but when it comes to big wars, they make it such a long, drawn out thing that I feel like a lot of people get burned out before they actually do what they want to achieve. So like half the time the attackers don't really finish.
sounds like that's a personal problem if they struggle finishing.
I
mean-
never struggle to finish. I finish every time.
It's a race, and I always win.
Yep.
No, I don't know. We'll see, because I mean, this stuff in the north has been going on for several months, and but I don't think we're leaving because we keep like getting a lot of fights and blowing up stuff that's we're winning most of the fights as far on the ISK front, so I think that we're just kind of down for that more than the actual outcome of the war. But
And Norris keeps giving everybody money, so
yeah, I think that's the other thing. It's like we get to keep getting fights over and over and over, and we're winning most of them, and we're also just getting paid to be there, so even better. Well, the alliance is getting paid. I'm not getting paid.
I was gonna say, like, how's that trickled down working?
I mean,
for ya?
it trickles
Yeah,
down
see
to
any of
where
that
like
Noros money?
it trickles down into like SRPE and stuff. So I mean, like the fights we get when your shit gets blown up and you don't have to pay for another ship. That's you getting paid basically. But
yeah, after Fortac A, Braves SRP was so broke, they were paying in ISK half the value of a dread loss, and that's if it was properly fit. And
Yeah,
Brave
there
people
was
were
a bunch
responsible
of-
for sourcing their own hulls.
there was a bunch of I saw some logs posted. There was like a lot of salt going around about that because they were essentially telling their members to reship, get more dreads in here, and then they would die, and that because they were telling them, like it's SRP'd, and then afterwards, since they lost so many dreads, they're like, we're gonna reimburse 50% of hulls and no fits, and everyone's like, what the fuck? When I'm told to reship and because it's SRP'd and it's half SRP'd, like yeah, a lot of people were pissed off. And then it was just a bunch of shit slinging back and forth between
Great way
members
to
and
kill
leadership.
your morale.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those like, you know, it was on the other side, so our alliance was just, you know, eating popcorn, going like, oh, yeah, drama. But Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's vice versa pings too. I mean, every side's got to have their little propaganda posts, but
Yeah. Can't believe everything.
the logs,
It's all on Discord.
it's all on Discord. Yeah, Crimson Harvest still going. Still paranoid, flying my freighter around.
90% loot drop.
Yeah, 90% loot drop, which normally it's like people aren't going to gank my freighter. I'm only carrying 1.5 billion in it, but now it's just like,
That's right.
I mean, if they're
Oh,
going to
they
get
will.
1.2, 1.3 of that, they might actually fucking kill it. But
Mm-hmm.
This is the time of year when I stop hauling all freight.
I have not, because it's been fairly safe. I did freak out a little bit the other night though, because I jumped into Sobaseki, and all of a sudden I jumped in. I'm like, the new system loads up, and there's like 100 Concord on the gate. I'm like, oh fuck, dock up, nearest station, go. And I'm trying to figure out like, okay, who got killed and who was it by? Was it safety? And so I'm looking on Zkill for Sobaseki, and there's no ganks kills on Zkill. So whoever did the ganking and got ganked don't have their accounts linked to Zkill. So it didn't show up, and I'm just like, that makes me even more scared, because
That's how, by the way, that's how everyone should do their shit too. Just
Yeah.
don't have your stuff auto.
I do, because I like there being records of stuff.
Yeah.
Traded, in your corp, you cannot have an API on Zkill.
Suck it, I do. And they haven't said anything about it.
All right, I'm gonna go find the monsoon dropper and get him to drop a monsoon on you for this.
Don't tell oh fuck, what's his name? It's not Elise, it's Elise
DJ?
No, DJ is
Headliner?
the other corp. It's
DJ's permanently AFK, so he's not gonna find out anyway.
Takashawa. Don't tell him. That's the CEO right now. That's fine. I don't lose anything anyway. I actually haven't lost a ship in a while. Except that although it was on my alt.
That site.
Yeah, fuck. Okay, so the Crimson Harvest thing, they got the Tetramon. So is Tetramon a new thing, or has that been around on all the Crimson Harvests? Because I've never heard of them.
Tetron has been out for a very long
Oh,
time.
okay. Well, so there's the Tetramon bases. So you can scan down the sites. I actually found a couple of those the other night on my not my main, but my other alt that's like highly trained. And yeah, we did talk. Yeah, 90% loot drops are going on, Manning.
90%.
90%.
That's
So
more
I
than usual,
scanned
right?
a few of those sites. They take a bit to scan down. They're harder signature to scan with the probes, and then also they're like the hardest hacking sites you can do. I still was able to get them. I haven't. Well, I had a couple failures, but not like double failures, so I didn't fail any cans. But they actually have decent loot in them. I did 2 sites, and they're data sites, which usually you get like what 2 to 5 million per whole site combined.
Data sites are garbage usually.
Yeah, but I did 2 sites and came out with about just shy of 50 million. So there's about 20 million in each site average. So pretty good. Now, some of the stuff you have to take it to HiSec. I mean, well, all of it you have to take it to HiSec to sell, because I actually got like Overseer's tier effects, which I didn't know that those would be in data sites, but they're in those ones. And then you have these War Clone somethings in there, which I'm assuming you're part of.
You have to take those to Delve to sell to Blood Raider buy orders. So
Yeah.
fun times if you're not in goons.
I can
shuttle.
Not
I
being
can
in
get
goons
them.
is the
I
Sell
can
them to Dom.
I could put them in and just pick them up, like drop them in the first HiSec system in, and then just come pick them up with an alt. Like that won't be hard. I have neutral alts.
I just when I
HiSec,
move
so-
shit, I just take him to the first system in HiSec, and I just red frog it to Gina. It's like I'll let them take the risk, do the actual dangerous parts.
Well, I mean, they don't. I wouldn't even red frog it, because I mean, all of it together is like 30 to 40 M3. So I can just come pick it up in a, just a regular ship with a neutral alt. But yeah, so I mean, decent stuff in those. And then you have the Tetramon bases. They're like the combat sites. I was assuming, because like I said, I have a alt. Really though, it's just a PI alt in HiSec, but I did train her up to have some combat skills, because the daily logins where you can get skill points, a lot of them are kill these things in abyssals, kill these things in abyssals, drones, or Triclavians and stuff like that. So I trained her up into a cruiser and drones fucking suck in abyssals because anytime you pop drones out, all the rats are like, kill the drones, and you have to watch them constantly. So I was like, I'll just do missiles. Missiles are easy. So I trained up to get into a Caracal Navy, and I was just do those. So I just took that. I was like, oh, okay, the Tetramon, because I figured Tetramon bases in high sec are gonna be easy, right? They're gonna be. I just want to like get some of the points for the skins. Nope, they're just as hard in high sec as they are out in null sec, I think, and they're the smart rats. So warped in with my Caracal Navy, and there was like 2 Sentinels, a Cruor, a Curse, and in there. So I'm like instantly like they're newting the shit out of me. All of them have points, and the Cruor's got like super webs on me. So and I just have rapid light missile launchers on this thing, which are not good for ratting in general, but they're fun because I just did like the calm abyssals, and I could kill all the rats in each room with a single clip, so I didn't care. But so I was like, I killed some of the frigates, the Sentinels. Cruor still webbing me down, and I like turned my MWD on to try to get out of range. I get out of range of the Curse that was pointing me and the Destroyer, but then they warp off, ping off, and come warp back down on top of you. I'm like, fuck. I was like, oh, okay. And then like it's like my cap's empty because the Curse got me. I'm like reloading. I reload the thing, kill the Cruor and the Destroyer because those I knew I could kill those. Those had me pointed down. So I was like, okay, now it's just the Curse, and I unload the rest of that clip into the Curse. It gets into like halfway armor. I'm like, okay, I should be able to live long enough for another clip. But then they also had an Augurer in there, so it starts repping up the Curse. I'm like, what the fuck is this? These rats are OP. And yeah, so little that last clip in, shot the Curse and got it into like just barely into structure. But then I clipped out again, and then I'm in like armor on a shield ship. I'm like, well, that's it. I'm fucking dead, and I died. So I was like, well. There's plenty of ships you could probably do those sites solo a lot easier, but a half-ass trained pilot in a Navy Caracal is not it. I'll tell you that right now. Also, I didn't have any drones in my bay because I forgot, so there's that too. Because I'm good at this game.
You're super good.
I'm
Speaking of
super good at
Eve
this game.
things,
But yeah, the fight site's cool. Oh, good.
Joe Hill in chat was asking what a dead zone station is. So just to say, a dead zone station back when conquerable stations were a thing and like citadels didn't exist, you could conquer a station and you would shoot the station till it had no EHP. That was the original one. Then they changed it to some FOSSI bullshit. But you would have a character in a one-man corp that would dock and revoke docking access to everybody except that one-man corp. So no one could have access to any assets forever that were stuck in that station.
Unless you just... Oh, but wait, when the structure's taken over, right? In the old Dominion Sov, like if you had a character in there,
That's
still
the
in
only
there.
way you could get it out was,
Yeah.
yep, you would have to go and take the station over, which was no easy feat if you were dead zoned by like Pandemic Legion.
But if you had your character like docked up in there to begin with, but I guess you'd have to have a character in there.
Right.
You'd get one undock and that's it. Like whatever you
Yep.
pick up, yeah.
So yeah, there's at least 2 famous instances. One was in drone regions that locked out Solar Fleet, and I think the other one happened in Nully, but I'm not sure on who the other one was. The one in drones I remember because Manny was the one that dead zoned it, if I remember right, and that was PL. Like back in the days when PL was the boogeyman of Eve.
Yeah. Before they became I mean PL's not really much of a
Folks home.
Sov holder. I mean,
BFL's sidekick.
yeah, I mean well it's like PL isn't the Sov holder, but Horde is the Sov holder that PL just, PL lives in Horde stuff all the time. I mean, I think we have, I don't know, does PL actually own Alex Q?
I'd have to log it and check.
I think that might be like the one system that they own, but it might still be a Horde system. I can't remember. Dotland, I don't know, but
LXQ?
LXQ2 Tech T or something?
Yeah, an Ethereum Reach.
Mm-hmm. I want to say it's Horde Soft still.
Geography with LB LeBlanc. Brought to
It
you by
is
OpenCom.
Yep. Pandemic Horde.
Okay,
They own the
yeah, it's
TCU
all
and the
Horde.
iHub.
Okay, yeah. So Horde owns everything. I don't think PL owns a single solve system that I know of. But Boogeyman, I don't think Frat's the Boogeyman. Frat is. I mean, Frat is kind of like the. I don't know. I would say like the opposite, the anti-goon, the opposite of goons. But I would say Horde is probably like that actually now.
Yeah,
But
I would say that's
Frat is. I mean, Frat's a. I would almost say like Frat's like the Test. Like Test 5 to 10 years ago. That's kind of what Frat is today. Like they're their own thing. They're big.
And they're next.
They're next.
On
But
whose list?
at the moment, Frat and PanFam
They're
are
next
all
to
teamed up. So now it's
themselves.
Panda Fam. So Panda Fam is the thing now.
PandaFam has been a thing for a while.
Yeah.
Ever since the good old days in the southeast, when Frat and Test were having or Frat and Legacy were having their big war.
Yeah. I haven't seen Test.
Yeah.
Like, what's Test doing these days? I haven't really seen them
Living
around.
the dream. What do you expect? Test Alliance, please ignore, dude.
Where are they?
They are wherever the wind takes them, I believe.
Free
Hanging out with
Spirits.
Shadows.
Frat, though. Hanging out with Frat, that's the
They are?
main
Okay.
takeaway.
Yeah, so that's Panda Fam is like the east of the map. East, northeast, kind of. Northwest is it B2 and like is that like Volta and Blob and stuff? Is that B2?
Yeah.
Brave.
I heard
all that shit.
Volta was leaving, though.
Test
Leaving,
owned
like initiative
entire-
leaving or leaving?
Like, leaving the region.
Oh,
Hmm.
we did it.
Giving up.
Victory. We've won already.
But I mean, Volta lives in Turner anyway, so like they don't really do much to contribute to the defense of their own space. So it's kind of a gimme at this point.
Yeah, and then there's Fireco. I still don't know who's in Fireco. Like
Fuck Fireco.
I keep
Yeah,
hearing the
fuck
name thrown
Fireco.
around for a long time, and I still just never remember who's all.
It's like Legion of X-Death and Friends. That's who's in
Okay.
Fireco.
Yeah.
The Russians.
Is that the what Boss is Boss with them?
Boss is
No.
with them, but only because they're both against Pan
Okay,
Am
so
and
I was like
Friends.
Boss is like their own thing, kind of, but I guess they're allied.
Yeah,
with them.
Boss is their own thing, just like fucking BFL is their own thing.
Yeah, Bar Guest Foreign Legion. I really thought that's what it was when I saw that the image. And then I was corrected. It's Bean Foreign Legion. I never knew that, but fuck, I should have figured it out.
Wait, it's not Best Friends Legion?
That's what I thought it was. I heard people. I think there's just a bunch of memes and jokes that people say, but no, it's Bean.
You're probably thinking of the NC Holding Corp, which is Best Friends Forever.
No.
No.
I saw people call it Best Friends Legion, but I think that's just a joke because that fits with BFL. But it's Bean 4 Legion. It's a SIG in Horde that now PL and some other groups have jumped on, and that's what is deployed up north.
That's all PL does now.
Yeah, well, PL.
I mean, BFL was essentially PL, but in Horde.
What?
Because it's similar requirements, same doctrines, same ships, same FCs, so you're essentially in PL but in Pandemic Horde.
That's
Yeah.
probably
There
the
are-
most cringy thing you've ever said anywhere in your entire life. Just so that you know. Like,
PL, but in Horde.
just so that you know. We're on the same page.
It's just the group north, but PL is all of PL is like PL. The Alliance has joined BFL as like their thing. So
They're buddy. Yeah, no,
yeah, so it's like not all of Horde is in BFL, but all of PL is in BFL.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Redline doesn't like BFL.
I don't I like BFL just fine.
Oh, I was like, every time BFL comes, you're like, oh yeah, BFL.
No, I'm just salty.
Okay, it's like, yeah, you're
Just
salty.
Yes,
red
you
line.
are,
Just
Redline. You are
being
very,
salty.
you are
quite
a
the-
very
this-
salty boy.
The salt is just flowing out of there.
Saltiest human in the world.
We almost
most of
got.
the
There was
time.
that one time I didn't as show up to some fight, and all of a sudden it's like you were buzzing around in a Jaguar. I was like, oh, get him! I stick my drones on you. They got almost there, and then you went out of range, and they just didn't do anything.
Yeah. You see, and people wonder why people don't play Eve all the time. Tisk tisk. I always get murdered.
Well,
the
you
name
were
of the game?
neutral.
Yeah, but not all the time. Not like first on the field to die every time.
Well, no, you
Come
weren't
on,
primary.
man.
They didn't. I mean, it wasn't until we pretty much annihilated the other fleet that they started, like get red line, But
No, I was primary
It's
from the
because
jump,
Redline
dude.
is sus. He's
Well,
you were-
always
I
the
mean,
imposter.
people were trying because you're a
Everyone
tackle
yellow
flying around.
boxed
And,
me
like,
all at the same time. It was planned, predetermined attacks.
I mean, if you're flying around in a tackle ship, everyone's gonna lock you up because they, like that's the thing. Any tackle that gets in our little personal space bubble, everyone tries to kill it off. I mean, it's like, yeah,
Oh,
you do
yeah.
the primary, but pretty much all the logi, we can't reach the primaries with our drones because they're always out of range.
Yeah, red line.
So
It's your
Yeah,
fault.
what? So
all we
you
can
think-
do is shoot
you think
tackle
you
that comes
get
in
your own-
range.
You think you get your own personal little space bubble? Hmm?
Yeah, well,
Where,
it's
like,
60
ships
kilometer
can't
drone range.
enter?
60
I'll
kilometer
tell you
drone
what.
range. If you are a Dictor, a tackle, or a command destroyer or something, any of those coming in that 60 kilometer bubble, all the logi drones go like over to you because
You should have known that flying a tackle was going to get you that. You should have. You should never
I
have
should have
worn
known
that.
that I was gonna get zapped. Yeah, you're right.
You shouldn't have worn that dress.
Whoa! Whoa!
Damn.
Whoa!
Redline, check
Anyways.
out Tito's.
Check out, huh?
Check out the Tito's
Discord.
channel.
The Tito's channel? What's that? Oh, that's here. One moment, please. Middle of a very intense Factorio session.
I know someone wanted to talk about the MER tonight. Manic did, but he's
I
chill.
don't know how to talk about the MER.
Yeah, line go
You're
up
fucking
good,
hot
right?
Caveman. Caveman
Line go
talk.
up good.
Goof goof gaff.
Big bar graph, big explosions. Ugh.
Big bar graph. Economist.
We need to count the
Bad.
money.
Oh, it was Dom. Okay, yeah, Dom. I was like, all right, we'll pass that to Redline because Redline gets
Where-
excited about the MER.
I just like to talk about numbers. Numbers are my comfort drug.
Mm.
It's true.
Money
I like-
supply.
Yeah, money supply.
Line go up.
Good.
Sometimes. Not
Good.
always.
But graphs say line go down.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good?
Or bad.
Maybe. It depends. Which line? The red
Is,
line?
is supply go down? More ISK spent explosions?
No.
Oh.
No. ISK supply.
Why is supply go down?
ISK supply go down? I don't know actually.
Hmm. New
Why
graph.
would the ISK supply go down? Taxes?
Velocity ISK.
Oh, that?
line go
Oh,
up.
That's right. The velocity of ISK is how fast people are spending the money.
Oh,
If
line
that
go up.
If that line
velocity
go
ISK
down,
line go up.
If that
Supply
line
go down.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this destruction? Look
And
at Delve's
demand up.
destruction. There's a lot of ISK destruction in Delve this last month.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on in Delve? Are they even fighting
The
anything?
anti-crab coalition is back, baby.
Oh. Why
Hell yeah.
Why isn't
Oh.
BFL down in Delve?
Hallelujah.
Why isn't BFL down in Delve? Because
Yeah.
they're being paid to set up there.
Well,
So
we're
let-
not doing
let me
anything
just
in
make
US
sure
time
that-
zone. Why don't we go down
Let
in
me
US
just
time
make sure
zone
that
down there?
you and Vlad both understand, right? The alliance that you were in the video game is making money from you bashing structures. But are you?
Well, I mean, we get in some fight. I've been in some fights too, but
Yeah.
some good ones. There's been some good fights. It's just
But are
there's
you
almost
making money?
there's almost a fight like every other day, but it's all
But
in
are
the EU
you
time
making
zone.
money?
I am.
More
making
importantly, are you
money.
having fun?
I am
That
having
is an
fun.
important question.
That's the more
As
important
long
question.
that is the more important.
Yeah, I am having
You
fun.
are correct.
What
I'm
is your
but-
fun
I'm-
per hour?
digging the game?
But are you
100%
making
while-
money
I'm making money on the side, doing some other shit.
hustling?
I got a side hustle.
Nice.
Grinding?
It's not much of a grind. It's pretty easy.
Oh yeah.
You know, if
tell
you
us
and your
about it.
friends are going out to eat in a
I've told-
restaurant,
I
you're not
think I
thinking,
get into the discussion
I
like
should
it's
buy
like
this
every
restaurant.
week at the end of the show when the drinks have been flowing. It's like I swear I talk about my PI shit like every week, so I don't want to bore anybody with the PI shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I didn't know
Yeah.
it was PI. I wouldn't have
it's-
asked if I would have known it was PI.
Yeah,
no
no,
offense,
it's
but
PI.
I
I mean, it
literally
makes me
could
money.
not care
That's
less
it.
about PI.
PI is the worst.
Yeah, it's easy. It gets me like
I don't
$6
even
bill a month.
do
So
it.
$6 a month, I'm fine with. That's pretty good.
I don't even
PI
do PI.
is
Could be-
the
Could be 8 bill
picking
or
up cans
more.
on the side of the highway of Eve. is
Yeah.
what it is.
Oh my god, it is.
It could
Right.
He's
be
not
more
wrong.
if you did it in like
It's
months.
easy. Yeah, sure, it's easy, I guess. So is selling your own plasma. But like,
Yeah. But
There's better ways.
it's more money and less effort than ratting. So hell yeah.
hell yeah.
But that's only because I don't
Also,
do like,
that's
I
the
don't do
question,
carrier
LB.
ratting because I don't know how to do it. I'm so bad. Like I've tried it and I ended up losing. It's like, okay, I made like 40 million ISK from this site and lost about 30 million in fighters because I'm fucking bad at managing fighters and they keep dying to the rats and shit. I hate carrier ratting. I don't know how people do it well, but
So,
You
LB, here's a
don't do it
question.
well.
If PI is equivalent of picking up cans on the side of the road, what is the
Yeah.
EVE equivalent of prostitution?
What you do in PL?
Yeah.
Man's not wrong.
I mean,
You got
I like flying PL. Like you get to fly.
I mean, he's
Fun
not
ships.
wrong.
Like any kind of arranged fight for money, that's fucking
Yeah,
that's
it's
prostitution.
it's a nice change because when I left this game, it had been Munins Online for like 2 years. I was getting real tired of Munins Online, and now it's like Redeemers, Paladins, Bar Guests, fucking Cyclone Fleet issue. It's
Fortizars.
It's
It's
fun. It's
how they should
fun.
be.
shit.
Battleship Online
Retarded.
is so much better.
It's fun ships. It's like fun, and it's I don't know. I'm digging it. Like I've been having more fun in Eve these last few months than I have in years. So
God bless, dude. That's really good to hear, actually.
Proud
I'm
of you.
excited for Havoc.
yeah, Havoc looks
Me
fun.
too.
I think it'll be
Same.
cool.
I've spent the entire time I ever flew in nullsec, right? I spent that entire time getting fucked up by lowsec, and I could never, ever do anything to fuck up anyone in lowsec. But you know
Shots.
what? Once Havoc comes out, I can do things to fuck up everybody in lowsec.
Once the
yeah.
once the closed omega the shooter comes out too, we should do a night where
Yeah.
we do that on the show, like go in all as a team together.
Yeah, I would. I would
That'd
like
be
to.
fun.
We could do side streams, and then that would give us enough streaming hours to apply for partner.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
Or-
Yeah, I would love to play some. I like I said, I'm not even a big FPS fan, and I want to play that game. That looks fun. Was it Vanguard? That's what it is.
That's what it's called. Vanguard.
You could also stream roams, you know, if you did them.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to do one this weekend.
Let's all
Yeah.
join Galmil.
I
Let's go.
Let's all
actually
join Galenti Militia.
Let's
We'll all
go.
go out.
Let's go do the room. When are
I've
we gonna
got-
do the room?
I actually have time this
Radical
weekend,
Coffee
either
is reset.
tomorrow night or on Sunday. I actually have time to do a roam since like it's midterm week and it's a late week for me.
Sunday. I'm down for Sunday.
Monday.
Is anyone else
LB,
wanna
that's a negative.
roam Sunday? I'll stream it. I'm supposed to
What
do
about-
the FC thing. We can do some FC stuff.
Sunday show?
I'll talk with Unlucky. I think he wanted to go too.
Is
He
there
said
a
he would
Sunday show?
backseat FC and help me out and give me pointers.
Probably not.
And we could stream it to add.
That would be
towards the
really
stream
fun.
hour.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, I was. I'll
But the
stream it.
thing is, Stray, is that until you have like a certain number of people, you don't really need like an FC, right?
Right.
So like you're kind of fly your own ship
But
style.
at the same
so
time, I
Well,
will
you
say
you
that
gotta
that one
find
time
you
we
gotta find F1 monkeys.
well, but
That's what you need.
hold
you
on.
need to have someone calling the shots, though. Like someone
Yeah.
needs to be in charge.
Yeah, someone needs to make like, hey, this is what we're gonna do, and then
Mhm.
people can kind of fly their own ship. Because that one time we went on the roam and there was 6 of us and no one was in
Mhm.
charge. People were all over the place. I don't think there was any given time where people
It
weren't at
wasn't
least
'cause
like
there
4 or
was no
5
one in
jumps away from each
charge.
other. Right.
That's because of who was in the fleet.
Well, but it's like, oh,
It's
we
because
don't.
it was
you-
us. Dude.
You
I know.
you mitigate that by actually having someone.
Yeah,
in
but if you have someone in
charge,
charge, say like, all right, everyone go here, do this, we're doing that, and making the calls. That maybe you're not like lock this person up, shoot this. But I mean, if you're making the calls, like we're going here, we're checking this, it keeps everyone together and doing a cohesive thing. Because when we were in that group, it was like you're like, okay, we're gonna go check this out. All right, hey, I got this guy pointed. You guys can come in now. And we're like, wait, where are you? I'm here. It's like, dude, we're 6 jumps out. We're not like you're by yourself, and you're like, oh, I'm fucking dead. It's like, well, yeah, like no one knew where you were going.
Oh,
and then,
not me. Not
and
me.
then
It
Ziggy's
wasn't
like,
me.
I'm
I
still
didn't do that.
reshipping over here in Losec, and then and then we started. The only
And
thing
then
that
we
we
killed
were
that person in high sec.
was no, we
or
didn't kill
tried
him.
to.
Yeah, I was like, that was
We
the only
wanted to.
that was the only cohesive thing we did. Is we all ganked in high sec and
We
died.
all-
Like we all
we
did that
all
together.
fucking
That was that
chimped
was
out.
the one thing we shouldn't
We
have
are
done. That was the whole
legends
thing we
for
were.
that, by the way.
It was so good.
But that's
Why?
the thing. We
Who?
never really got into like a fight, though. You know, it's like
yeah,
you want to call targets, yeah, but
got to fight with
You know.
Concord.
yeah, exactly. That was so fucked. So messed up, dude. So messed.
Yeah, that was so good. I loved that clip. Ooh,
But
that
we gotta go
prospect. I
again.
don't like the look of that prospect.
Look, I've explained it before.
I know.
The prospect was a covert sign-off.
It could.
was-
be,
Yeah. No. It needed to die. Like it was a proper thing to want to murder. Like we made the right call.
Well, no, we weren't after the prospect. We shot the procurer.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, we shot the
Yeah.
procurer. The prospect was just there when
Well,
we jumped into high sec,
On
and
the
he was
same
over there.
on the same token, the
But-
procurers also need to die.
Yeah,
So,
well, I mean, like it was
we
good looking
win
out.
either way.
LB noticed a threat and pointed it out.
Yeah.
It wasn't a threat because it was high sec and it wasn't going to do anything. But
He
you
was
know,
ice
but it
mining.
could have been.
yeah, he was nice. He was actually just mining over there.
it's been a
But it-
while, but one of my favorite meme
What?
roams we ever did on Past Alliance was a battle proc. And well, it was a battle miner fleet because we even had like a porpoise with us and like some other stuff for boosts and things. And it was pretty hilarious. Like when we actually did we came across one small gang and like actually won the fight because of just overwhelming drones. But they were just like, "What the fuck is happening to us right now? We're being killed by a bunch of miners."
It's I mean, there's also like the battle herons. Those are pretty. I've heard those are pretty fun.
Yeah, they can be, but they're frigates. So like, when things go bad, they go bad real fast, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
And then it's over.
Yeah, it's like I mean, I got that. So I was like for Sunday, if we do the thing, if we get enough people, and we don't need like 50 people, but I mean, if we can get like
let's do blaster navy brutixes with
Okay.
police skins, and we'll role play as police, and we'll fly around those
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, we'll
And then we
bash
could bring
criminals'
some,
skulls in.
we could bring the like some ambulance
Ambulance logi?
scimitars or
Look, you can't
scythes.
copyright the police skins heretical coffee. Like, we'll do what the fuck we want.
Yeah, we'll bring like the
You can have your
ambulance thing, and then
wormholes.
what's
You'll
the-
stay in the wormholes, and we'll police low.
there's like a
We
fire
used
truck
to
one.
do.
exactly.
What's the red one with
Mind
the
your
fire
own
truck
business.
stuff?
Friend of mine used to run fleets with Fed Navy comments with
Yeah.
with the police skins on those, and whenever we'd tackle someone, we'd all just start screaming "wee woo" in local.
Seems like a
Whoop,
very
whoop, that's the sound of
fun
the
thing to
police.
do.
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground.
There he is. There's my guy. Rapping just like it.
Yeah, we
Oh
can,
yeah, whatever you do, you can't drop the second verse.
No, sir.
Oh, no, you can't.
Mm.
So, Eve Online news.
Yeah.
Eve
Any more of
Online,
that?
90% loot drop. Did you guys hear
90%
about
loot
this?
drop
Well,
still
my
going
God,
on.
not the Crimson Harvest event.
Crimson Harvest
Crimson
is on.
Harvest, it's still going. There's a sale on fucking Plex. I don't know if you heard about
Oh
this.
yeah, the
Which
sale on Plex,
okay,
it's really good.
I'm a little bitter about this because I'd let
Oh.
all but my main go unsubbed, and then the week after we got back from FanFest, or well, no, it's the first week of October actually, like when the login campaign started, I went and plexed the other 7 of my accounts, and
Oh
then now they've got
no.
a sale, so I'm like, God fucking damn it,
Well,
CCP.
Plex them again. You can. I mean, you can Plex them anytime you want.
I know, but I'm just saying, like literally,
You just
like
add more time.
basically barely over a week after I plexed everything, it's on sale,
on
and
sale,
I'm just
yeah.
like, fuck.
Most people don't do that though. Like they have just the subscription and they pay for what they play.
Yeah. Well, I
you
mean,
know?
I think that not for the people that have like 6 or 7 accounts though.
I mean,
I mean,
so
some do.
it's
I
it's
feel
actually
I feel like
rare. It's rare for me to plex. The only reason that I'm not paying for all of my accounts is because I'm really only using my main for the most part right now because I just have less time because of school. So I'm not, running like a full indie setup right now.
yeah, I've
And
only
that's the main reason I have so many accounts.
I've only ever run with 2 accounts because like, well, it was 30, now it's $40 a month. It's like I could do that, but I don't.
35.
But
You
it's-
don't pay full price for your second account unless you did it wrong.
they're charging me $20 a month on
Somebody
both.
did it wrong.
Yeah, you did it wrong then, my friend.
Did it wrong.
Yeah.
It's
So
probably because they're not both under the same email, even though I keep trying to change the email on one account and
Yep.
it keeps just not going through. It's like it's currently under change process and then it just never goes through. Probably need to get a hold of CCP devs or support and be like, yo,
yeah. So what you need to do is open a ticket, get them to fix that, because once it verifies that they've got that you've got at least one account under that email that you're paying the 20 for, the other ones you'll have in the special section, you'll be able to select the discounted pricing, which is really the original pricing.
So I've been paying an extra $5 a month for like this whole time.
CCP appreciates your
Awesome.
contribution to
Yeah.
their
Hilmar,
wallets.
Hilmar says thank you.
Yeah, I better not get a single fucking empty can. Like I haven't had an empty can actually, so maybe that's what it is. LB, maybe if you just spent 40 a month instead of
Fuck,
35,
okay.
you
Yeah.
wouldn't have those empty cans.
I'll
Yeah, just
spool up
spend
and
a
all.
little bit more money, dude.
Yeah.
But no, it's
Anyways,
like-
there's a sale on Plex. Plex is on sale, but also at the same time,
90% loot drop.
90% loot drop.
There's
That's right.
90%
So
loot
when you're
drop.
moving your Plex, 90% of it will drop. 30% off Omega for Plex. So you're spending less Plex per Omega per month.
yeah, it's
you're
350
getting-
Plex for a month, right?
Yep, cheap Plex, and then less Plex per month. So if you're looking at
Many
buying game time
Plexings.
for characters, then fucking now's the time. Get
Yeah.
your
Get
credit
her
card.
down,
out.
bud.
Get her
Gonna-
fucking done, bud.
Definitely have to get some of those put in.
If you spend $650, you get 20,000 Plex, Cormorant, Vexor, Oracle, and Hurricane Deathglow Hunter skin. So
Have you
I
spent
think
how
that's
much?
worth it. $649.99.
Oh, that's if you're doing like full years.
Is that US
20,000.
or Canadian dollars?
That's
That's-
website dollars, so I'm sure that's US.
That's
Flex arenas.
well, I
Uh,
think
well-
they go off of whatever your local thing is. So it might show you Canadian.
No, are you
No?
serious?
I think
I don't
it's
think
yeah.
so.
So
I'm not-
because you're
I'm not even
connecting-
logged in. Let me log in.
Oh, okay. Oh,
If
'cause-
your
yeah,
public
but-
how would
IP is from
they-
a Canadian ISP,
but yeah,
then
you're
they'll
coming from
probably show
Canadian
it to you in
ISP, so they're going to
Canadian
show you
dollars.
Canadian dollars because it'd be like if you logged in from the UK, it'd probably show it to you in pounds.
This
or
sounds stupid
euros.
to me. This sounds like
Yeah.
bullshit. You guys are making it up.
I
Well, I
could
don't
be wrong, but I know some places do that. They look at whatever IP you're coming from, so they just like, oh, you're that locality. We'll just give you the price in whatever your currency is.
Well, like if
What
you
if I
try to go
open
to
up, like-
Amazon.com and your public and your ISP is from Canada, you'll get redirected to like Amazon.co.ca.
What is
And yes,
Amazon
Heretical
doing?
Coffee is correct. Canadian money is like monopoly money.
No, it's not that low. It's like 75. It's like 75 US cents for a Canadian dollar. It's not like
Pretty low, dude.
It's not that low.
Could be worse. Could be Zimbabwe dollars.
It's kind of like the US dollar to a British pound. It's like, you know, I think it's like $1.20 for 1 pound or something. So I mean, that doesn't make the US dollar worthless. It's just, I don't know.
But Dre,
Yeah,
do you
the
know-
US dollar
one
doesn't
US
stand up as-
dollar, $1 is $1.37 Canadian.
Yeah. What is put in $1 Canadian, see what it is. And see.
73 cents.
I was close. I said 75.
How is
Yeah.
the conversion rate from the Canadian dollar to the krona, Icelandic krona?
Oh no.
is
Okay, hold
so
on.
probably about 100 because there was 143 krona to a US dollar when we were in.
So
there
if
for
it was
FanFest.
$600 and something dollars, that would probably, if that was Canadian, it'd probably be right around like $500 US, I would think.
So it's probably
550.
500 US.
One kroner is zero. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try $1 Canadian. $1 Canadian is 101 krona.
Oh,
Damn, I was only one off. That was a good guess.
Nice.
I mean, it's the Bob Barker bid. You always want to go as close to the actual retail price as possible without going over. Also,
$1,
R.I.P.
Bob.
Here.
Well, so that means like
R.I.P.
an Icelandic
Bob.
kroner is about a Canadian penny then.
What's a kroner?
It's the ISK. It's
It's
real
the
life
it's the currency of
Krona.
Iceland, like the real life currency of Iceland.
There's a real life currency of Iceland.
Yes,
Yes,
it's
and
real life
it's co-
currency
and
of
its
every
abbreviation-
country.
And its abbreviation is ISK.
There's no
Yeah.
way, dude.
Yeah,
way.
way.
So you're telling me that the Icelandic game studio named their fictional currency after their real fictional currency?
C.
It's crazy, right?
That's insane. What kind of crazy people would do that?
Icelandic
CCPers.
people.
Icelandic people.
Crueller. I think it's kroner.
God bless.
There's a lot of countries with kroner. A lot of the Nordic countries have kroner. Like there's Swedish
It means
kroner.
it means
Isn't there
crown.
Swedish kroner? Oh, is it crown? Okay.
I think Norway uses it.
I think Norway uses it. I think Finland does.
Sweden.
Sweden does. And then Denmark doesn't. Denmark uses euros, right?
Denmark's probably euro.
I
yeah.
think it's euros. Yeah.
Finland, I think, is euro too.
What was Denmark before the euro though? I bet it was
Uh,
kroner.
I don't know. Yeah, before the euro, there's like, because you had Deutschmarks, you had lira in Italy, you had francs in France, you had
and
all
francs
kinds-
in Switzerland.
francs. Yeah, those are Swiss francs, because they were different, and you had
Bronx.
You
Uh,
had shillings. So I lived in Austria in the late 90s. So yeah, it was horrible going across the border and having to change.
yeah, like it was awful because every country had its own separate currency. So the euro was really nice, although very soon after the euro came out, I guess a lot of, because Germany was like the main backer of the worth or something like that. So Germany kind of somehow made out well off of it, whereas a lot of other countries kind of got shit on when they swapped over to the euro, and like a lot of their value was deteriorated or something like that.
So, according to Wikipedia, Denmark is not using the euro, so they're krona too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like, I know. Yeah, it's maybe.
Yeah,
I
it's
wonder if some of the
it's
Baltic
all
states use
Western
it. Like,
Europe.
does like
Oh, yeah.
Latvia or Lithuania or any of those
Yep.
use it? Okay.
Latvia
Yeah, they're in the
uses
eurozone.
euro.
All three Baltic countries.
You
I don't
just
think
if
it's
you're
weird.
if you're asking questions about the Baltic countries, just say what would the West do, and the Baltics will be right in line with that.
Okay.
The Plex sale?
So
Or how could they fuck over Russia? The Baltic countries will do it.
Which is what would the West do?
yeah, pretty much.
Euros, fucking standardized healthcare, fucking free education. What else can we do? Anything to get us
Excuse
away
me,
from
sir.
Russia.
We
Let's
don't
go.
know what your free healthcare is.
Oh, LB, did you hear about how the Baltic countries are now? They're not referring to Kaliningrad as Kaliningrad. It's the old name of Königsberg.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Where is this at? I've heard of both those.
So
towns.
there is Russia has an exclave they call Kaliningrad, which used to be Königsberg,
Oh, yeah. It's like that
which used to
weird
be part
little
of Germany, but was ceded after World War II.
Yeah, it's that thing that's like southwest of Latvia or something, right? It's that little chunk
Yeah.
that's isolated that you look at. You're like, wait. I thought. See, I for the longest time when I was a younger kid, I saw that because you'd see like the old maps of Prussia, but Prussia didn't exist after World War I or even maybe before that. but you would see the little thing. And I was like, oh, is that like Prussia or something? It's like, nope, that's Russia. It's just this little offshoot island of Russia that is not connected by land to the rest of Russia. It's only it's only sea connection. But
And I'm still surprised that like Latvia and Lithuania haven't just completely cut all the traffic from Russia to there after the
That's-
Ukraine invasion.
that blockading like that can be seen as an act of war, and they really don't want to push
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, Russia has been very clear about that. They would view that as an actual act of war,
Yeah,
and like there would be a response.
Yeah, armed blockades are usually considered an act of war in a lot of situations, and so you probably don't want to do that if you're trying. Like the NATO and Russia are like button heads right now, but the last thing they want to do is actually declare war between each other. So they definitely want to avoid that if they
The
can.
whole point of a proxy war is to let the proxies fight.
Proxy wars avoid nuclear powers actually being at war with each other directly, and that's what the world is trying to avoid at this moment. That's why
When I was in
not to get into
Latvia,
politics, but
the big threat was that they would try to fucking bridge that land gap between fucking Kaliningrad and Belarus and cut off the 3 Baltic states.
just open
That's
up
the
a
fear.
open up like a Berlin corridor, like back in the when Germany was split.
Yeah. So like the drill was like, all we have to do is hold on for 3 days until the Polish brigade can fucking get real pissed off and just steamroll over whatever the fuck was there. And then we'd be fine. 3 days. Hold on for 3 days, boys. Good luck.
I mean, the 7th Panzer Division could probably make that in 3 days.
The Poles could fuck. If you fucking did anything in that area, the Poles will just drive all the way to Moscow. They won't fucking give a shit.
I'm pretty sure there's some Germans there too that probably have institutional knowledge of making that the Poland to Moscow drive.
Yeah. Somebody's granddad's gave him some maps.
The Russians offered Kaliningrad to Poland when the Cold War ended, and Poland didn't want it. I don't know. I actually don't know very much about like the whole Soviet Union breakup and a lot of the stuff that happened with all those countries over there, so I can't say.
Anyways, fucking community beat.
Community beat.
Oh, here we go.
Eve Vienna is coming up on the 28th of October. Did you guys know that?
I actually-
Vienna.
If I had PTO, I would actually try to make that because Vienna is a really nice city. It's
Some friends of mine actually are the organizers that started doing that. They're
Right.
some pretty cool people. Yeah, they used to be. They were in the Road Consortium for a long time. They're in Boss now.
We're talking about
But-
Vienna in Europe, right?
Yes.
yes,
Yep.
Vienna, Austria.
Austria. I was
Is
like,
there another one?
Although the last time I looked at the map where it's at, isn't it like some place in Lower Austria, like actually outside the city?
They.
I don't-
I think it was just outside the city is where they hosted it last year. I'm not sure if they're using the same venue this year. But
Yeah.
they've gotten a good group that comes out for that stuff regularly now. I want to say they said last year they had 50 people, 50 some people. The year before that was like high 20s or low 30s, but they've been doing it a few years in a row now.
I was just thinking because I was like, I'll go to it. Like it sounded like he was just like, I'll head down there for the weekend. So I was like, wait, is this Vienna in the U.S. or is this like the Vienna? But
It's only
Well,
a plane
speaking of
right
Vienna
away.
in the U.S.,
I
which
know
is
there's
in
probably,
Northern
like-
Virginia, there is
Okay.
a meet in D.C. in January. Unfortunately, I don't have time to make it, but there is one that's being done.
Yeah,
I put a
have the
link in Twitch
choice.
chat
Hmm?
to the community beat, so you can look at it. from there.
Oh yeah,
I
There's
basically
a
have
picture
choice.
there of the pub crawl from Eve Fan Fest of a less than
is that
stellar group.
Hilmar
Group 4.
doing the porn pose in the bottom?
No.
Oh, that's
That's Group 4. Group 5 is the best. I don't know.
Oh,
why
that's a
that-
Yes,
big
Group
group
5
four.
was the
Group
best.
two. Group
5
two.
is the best.
That's a
Group
big
two.
group 4. Man,
Sorry,
that-
Who's
You're wrong.
Group 5? It was Burger, Elite. It was Burger, Swift,
Burger and Swift. With Insidious Sainthood was the fucking volunteer leading it.
Man, CSP Swift was so drunk at the end of it, but
Yeah.
constantly feeding him Jameson shots did not help.
Yeah, it looks like Group 4 had all the AT broadcast crew, though. You got Overload,
Yeah,
you
there's
got
Zealous, there's
Mystical, you
Mystical.
got Blackbird Pirate, you got Satonia, or not Satonia now. Fuck, what's his Kestrel?
Ithaca Hawk.
Kestrel, yeah, Ithaca Hawk's there.
Which one's Kestrel?
Kestrel is Satonia. It's
No, I meant which one on the picture is him?
He is the one. So do you see Ithaca Hawk? He's two faces
Yeah.
to the right of him.
Yeah.
He's the one pointing at the camera.
The guy with the pink lanyard?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
Satonia
Oh, okay.
/ Kestrel. I know it's Satonia, but
Yeah, I had but I was like, I'm horrible with fate.
I
I'm
only know him
horrible
because
with faces.
he did a lot of streaming and he's done the AT like I think this is the first year he did it as a CCP employee, but or maybe last year's, but all the previous AT tournaments in the past he used to always be a commentator that would go there, but he was Satonia, a player, not the CCP dev at that point. And I forget he was because he's in. Because he's not a community dev, he's like QA.
He's QA.
Or
QA.
okay, he's QA. I was like, he's either QA or like a balance team or something, but he does like the actual, which QA might be part of the balance team.
So Space Gator was asking a question. So at FanFest, they did announce that they're planning on sending devs to events.
Yeah,
The question is going to be whether they're just going to be there to talk about EVE and drink with players, or if they're going to do presentations. The ones they specifically called out at FanFest were EVE New Orleans, EVE Vegas, EVE London, and EVE Singapore.
Oh, Singapore. Okay, interesting.
Those were the ones that they called at FanFest. So that's probably a not specifically included, but not limited to.
Yeah, and it could be like they did at Vegas. Was it last year where Swift came down and gave the presentation at that restaurant that we were having the tacos?
Yeah,
at?
kind of what I was thinking.
It might be something as simple as that. Maybe not like a full-on get a convention center rented out for the whole weekend and do presentations the whole time. I would assume it's probably they might do like one kind of release discussion thing, and then they're just there to hang out with people and talk EVE and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's about the
represent
most I would
CCP.
imagine they'd be doing. If not, it's just a show up and hang out with players.
Yeah, which I'm fine with that because it's just fun when you get the devs come down because they you get to talk to them about like, hey, because they know obviously more than obviously they're not going to be able to tell you NDA stuff, but you can get a lot of discussion info on them that you might not have just heard from random stuff. So
And I know there's a lot of interest with the community guys of trying to make New Orleans specifically. I know Swift has said he really wants to try to make it. So has Convict. So
should we do a get a Darwin to Vegas or get Darwin to NOLA or
That's what
something?
I'm saying.
I think with Darwin's small mini Darwins that would be a problem.
Well, I know that was a thing before, but it's like, man, they got to be like what, a year or two old. They can live at home by themselves for a week.
Well, there's also Mrs. Darwin.
Yeah, there's probably Mrs. Darwin, but
the problem though is getting from Iceland to anywhere in the U.S. that Icelandair does not fly to is just a royal pain in the ass.
yeah, but I mean Vegas.
I mean, they've gotten devs play. They've got like.
They can
I remember
transfer
talking
flights.
to I about it, and like when he came for Vegas, what was that, 2021? And yeah, it's a long flight, but like, it's doable. They
Yeah, I
got
mean
them
it's
there for
gonna be
that.
a long flight anyway. You're going backwards 7 hours across the ocean, and it's gonna suck no matter whether it's a direct flight or not. But they usually get in, and I sometimes usually when they get in, they sometimes will come down and have a drink or two, and then they leave the bar early and just go to bed, and then they like are up. The next day
because
ready
they're
to
just.
go. Yeah, sometimes they don't even come out for
Yeah,
drinks. Sometimes they're just
it's
like, all right,
fucking
I'm in
horrible.
town, I'm fucking tired, and they just go right to bed and then try and get up the next day. But
Yeah, I think Ice Cream said like when they got in, they got to like the hotel at 3 a.m.
yeah, the
Yeah, I booked United coming back from Iceland for FanFest because it was the only option that would have gotten me home without having to overnight somewhere in the States. Because if you don't live at a big airport, trying to make connections from flights to get back from Iceland, it's just a royal pain in the ass.
I have to say, my direct flight nonstop was fucking perfect.
Until it got canceled.
Oh, but so I paid $640 round trip for my ticket, and I got paid 600 euros this week from Icelandair, which after conversion was 632 US dollars. So I basically
Fuck.
got a free flight to Iceland this year.
Hell yeah.
$8 round trip.
Yep, cheapest trip to Iceland ever.
Fuck's sakes.
Yeah, and I
Um,
thought my basically paying half price for Saga for FanFest 2022 was a good deal.
But and why did they? Oh, because you booked one flight and canceled, and they like reimbursed you way more than that one flight was worth.
No, so my round trip ticket on Icelandair from Detroit was $640.
Mm-hmm.
And because my original flight home got canceled under European Union
Oh,
regulations, they had to pay me money. They had to pay me 600 euros. I qualified for the max payout, which that converts to
632.
632
Okay,
US dollars. So because they fucked up and had to cancel my original return flight,
so you
they
basically got a
basically
free flight all.
gave me a free
Hell
flight.
yeah, that's awesome. I hope if I fly anywhere they do that. Well, the U.S. won't do that.
Now, in the US, like when I was coming out for Vegas last year, my Southwest flight into Chicago was delayed enough that I missed the last connecting flight out to Vegas, so I had to sleep in the airport for the night. They gave me $200.
Uh, I I've only had to miss one flight because of delay. That was I think NOLA this year, but um, all the it's just I missed because there was massive delays in Seattle. I missed my Denver connecting flight down to NOLA, but all they did was like there was another flight that left 3.5 hours later, so I just got to NOLA like several hours later than I would have. That's it.
That happened to me going to
They
Vegas
didn't give me any money.
2022.
They're just like, sorry for the inconvenience. You can sit in a chair for the next 3 hours. Like, all right, fuck. They did try and get me on a what do they call that? Where you're like possibly in a
Standby?
queue.
Standby.
Yeah, so they put me on standby for a flight that was only an hour later, but I didn't get a spot. I was 2 spots short. 2 spots. And it's funny because the last spot that filled. Well, actually, I was 2 spots short, but I ended up being 1 spot short because one person that got the last spot, there was someone else that was the very next in line, and he was talking with the person at the counter, like, he was like, it was not an emergency, but it was like a really dire reason he needed to get home on time, and the person that got the last spot gave up his seat to that guy because he's like, I'll wait for the next one. But the last spot that they got filled was a first class seat that no one showed up for. So, like, if I was 1 spot further ahead, I would have got a free first class trip over there. But I missed it. I was like,
Hey, Greg
damn.
Millen,
Tamber
he's in
to
a public.
Tamber, to answer your question.
What's that?
So
Oh no! I meant 1 sec to
Oh.
drag him. No,
Sorry.
you can go talking. I was
Oh,
1 sec to
sorry,
drag.
I was like, oh, I was shutting up. Okay. No, Timber. So Kale paid for the hotel room for the last night. And yeah, they're reimbursing him and also paying Kale's 600 euro. So he's gonna get like 800 plus euro back from them.
So, Millen, are you a pilot then with Southwest?
Used it for a while. Your routes. But you can, there's all kinds of interesting ways to get around America if you actually ask the right questions. I know it's none of you guys would want to do. It's called the jump seat. If you have connections, you can actually get on to some of even the transport planes and actually get around, move stuff around easy. You can also, we have a lot of different little private carriers that you can get on that can actually get you around pretty fast around the town, particularly if they're on waiting. So there's options, but I was like, if they ever need to, they just look at the local networks, and you could probably get around the United States fairly cheaply and quickly. Or maybe we can even suggest places they could stop over, so they're not so stressed out when they come into town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did get a ride jump seat once, and this was pre 9/11. Got a ride jump seat on a BA, probably an A320 into Heathrow.
What's a jump seat?
It's the seat. It's the seat in the cockpit behind the pilots.
Wait, you get to fly in
Mhm.
that? I want to see
This was
Yep.
pre-9/11.
Oh yeah, I was like, they probably won't let anyone in there anymore.
Hell
Oh
no.
no, okay. I was like, dude, do you know how much leg room
Well,
is
but
in
if-
there?
but if you get-
Can I just pay extra for that seat?
Well, but if you have connections, you can still access them. So you have to be vetted very well. Yeah, you can get around this country easy. Now, we're not telling them to fly in a jet fighter, and I do know there's some people who actually get that special capability. But that's not something you'll get mostly for a game dev.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like to fly a jet. Jet fighters are so cramped.
Oh
Like,
fuck yeah, I want.
I mean,
yes, please.
the experience would probably be really cool, but man, it's like I feel like just being cramped in there like that, like I don't know. Like,
That was
it's-
actually one of
you
my
are, it is
favorite.
such a small. Like I'm not claustrophobic, but I think that would be a little more tight than I'd want to be in for that duration.
So one
Have
of
you
the
been on a
friends
private
that
jet?
one of the friends that came out for Vegas last year, he's currently in the Air Force and works on F-16s. Not he's not stationed in Vegas though, obviously, but he knew someone that worked on the flight line at the Air Force at the base there. So he actually took us out to the flight line, and we got to like walk up to the F-16s and like take a look around the cockpit. It was a really cool experience. It was one of my favorite parts of Vegas last year.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I-
the one thing I wouldn't want to do is there is actually a really weird way to be transported. It's an emergency system. They only do this during wartime. But I remember reading up a couple years back about there's a special type of container. It looks like a fuel pod, but it's not a fuel pod. It's for putting personnel and equipment in emergencies to get them out of a base.
is this gonna go in like the non-pressurized like luggage compartment under the plane or something?
No, that's on the hard points.
Oh, it's on the outside of the plane. They stick you on the outside.
They did it in World War II for paradropping
You're like
agents.
you're like in the
Yeah,
Flying
they
Fortress
did that
gunner
too.
bubble and just hope for the best. Hope the landing gear doesn't go out.
Well, they
uh,
do have the tanks, and some of them actually do have a connection that connects up to the oxygen aircraft.
Okay, I would not. I would be like, you know what? I'll wait for another flight before I went on something like that. Absolutely not. I would probably take the fighter jet. Like if they're like, oh well, we can't get you on the plane, but if you want to fly over in the F-18 or something, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. Actually, I don't know if F-18 is like 2-seater, but
Yeah, you can get them.
They do
PC.
have two-seat
there are some
F-18s.
2-seater, and is
Yeah,
the
they do.
F-18
Yeah.
because I
But
can't
like
remember.
Drayden,
F-18 is that Air
imagine-
Force or is that F-15 Air Force? I know one of them's carrier and one of them's
F-15's Air
land-based.
Force,
15's Air
F-18's
Force.
Navy.
F-18's Navy on the
Navy.
carrier. Okay, so 15
And
is
Marine
probably
Corps.
what I'm getting. Yeah. But yeah, I would probably take
Canada
one of
Air
those,
Force.
even though it's like it would be tight. But like I said, I would probably do it.
Drayden, imagine the smallest seat you can get in a like a passenger
I
airline.
know.
Shrink it by about 10%. Put on a much more uncomfortable seatbelt,
Flight suit.
and then have to wear a helmet, and then make it loud, and then make like you can't put the shade down and have a nap. It's sun all the time.
I can't nap on a plane anyway.
luck.
I can't sleep sitting up. So
And remember too, you've got an extra bulky suit that
flight
you're
suit.
wearing.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
probably have to have a G suit as well. So yeah.
I mean, it still.
And your
And
carry-on
a
has
life
to be
jacket.
and your carry-on has to be small.
I would just hook my luggage thing up to like the fucking sidewinder underneath. Just hook it on one of the wings. Be like, it won't come off.
Have you
It'll
actually
be
seen like on King Airs that the luggage compartments is actually right behind the engines? It's a 2-engine prop plane, and
Mhm.
where each engine is right behind it is where the luggage goes.
But I mean, I would probably, it's like just the experience to fly out a fighter jet. And the thing is, like, it would get you there faster than, I mean, they probably, well, I mean, I don't know, commercial liners fly at like 500 and something miles an hour. So, I mean, it's not like your
the best
fighter jet's
best
probably a
choice,
little
I would
faster,
say.
but
The best choice is getting into a private jet, but the problem is figuring out which provider will get them from point A to point B.
Mm.
I mean, they're going. Some of the most private jets are almost like 0.8 or 0.9 Mach, so they can get pretty quick across the country, fairly quick, and even across the water.
Yeah, I think
No, they don't
like a
fly.
I think most
G700.
commercial flights go like 0.8, don't they?
They're more 0.6,
Oh, are they? Okay.
600.
Unless you're in a 747. Those things are fast.
Yeah, well, they're also
The
going
old
up
Concorde
into the
jets, but
stratospheric currents.
the Concords got retired, but I saw some article that I mean, obviously it's like speculation, but they were thinking, I think they're designing a modern age Concorde-esque, like Mach, like plus Mach passenger.
Yeah, it's called the Boom. It's got
Oh,
it's
is that
not
it?
as fast. Its top speed's like 1.5.
Well, but still,
So
it's still like Mach
NASA
over what Mach 1.
NASA and Boeing are partnering to develop essentially what would be like a spiritual successor to
Yeah.
and yeah, they're looking at ways to minimize the boom and make it so it's less of a problem so that it could actually get certified to fly over land.
Yeah, and Tamper, no, they're not bringing the
The-
Concorde back. The Concorde got retired. That was too expensive to keep running. They weren't making
Yeah.
money on it, but they're making a newer over Mach 1 passenger plane.
The only reason the
like it in
Concorde
chat.
lasted as long as it did was because the British and French governments were subsidizing their expenses, and when they decided to do that, or to stop doing that rather, it no longer was viable.
Yeah,
so
because
that
the price of the
airline stopped.
ticket, the price of the tickets they would have to charge to make money, no one would buy them, so they weren't be able to fill planes. So they had to drop the prices. But then
if
they
you
weren't
look it
making
up,
money.
it's called NASA's. It's called the X-59.
Oh, it's an
it's
X
one of the
plane.
projects.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
it's an X plane.
Hell yeah.
So
Let's do
that
it.
Boom Supersonic I linked in chat, that one actually has orders already from United and American if it ever goes into production.
Oh, I just also we got drops on the stream, and I just got one. So make sure you're checking your progress to make sure that you can claim your drops, and because you
Fuck
can't you can't start the next step till you claim the first one. So
There's also
already claimed my
there's
I'm
process
looking to
game.
see where you have to go to claim your drops.
well, it either pops up in the chat. Sometimes you just claim it there, but above the chat window on the top right, you have a little picture profile. If you click on that, down below somewhere, there's like a drops. What's it called? It's like drops
Yeah,
and
I see it
rewards.
now.
You can just click on. It'll show you the progress bar, and if it's full, you click on that, and then it'll bring you to the thing to claim it. And you click claim now on the picture, and then once you click claim now, then it shows that you're progressing towards the next step. So
it's only 2 hours per whatever set bracket
Yeah.
of time they let people look at stuff.
yeah, and I think you get both. Oh, so the first step you get both. You get the retribution and the prophecy. So make sure you claim both. If you get the first step. Because I just got one. I hit claim. It's like you got it claimed, and I went to the thing, and I also had to claim.
First 2 steps at the same time. Because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
your progress continues regardless of whether you claim it or not. So you
Does
got
it?
both at once because your progress continues.
No, because when I started watching. I hadn't had any progress towards any of them at all, and I started watching on Lucky's stream about 15 minutes before we started the show here, and so I just hit the 2 hour mark, and they were both set for 2 hours, and I just got both. So I think both of these are 2 hours.
It's daily unlocks, so supposedly certain items unlock at very particular zones. So it actually, if you hadn't gotten them, you could probably get 3 or 4 of them in a stack. But it's been kind of weird because they've been experimenting with different time frames. You know, like they did during FanFest, like those crazy 4 hour long redeems.
Yeah. Yeah, some of
was
those
a
are really
little-
long. Like that was the last campaign where it was like a half an hour for like the pill drop, and then it was like 4 hours, or 2 hours, then 4 hours, 4 hours. It's like, holy shit. Okay, I don't know how much Twitch you think I'm gonna watch over the weekend.
But they had 2 different. So like if you had gotten the previous Eve Online, they gave you a second chance with a partner to get the skin if you missed out. I think they're experimenting with the format, trying to figure out how to set it up correctly so it's beneficial.
Yeah, I think the 2 hours is a good one. The 4 hours a little long, in my opinion. But
Yeah, 4 hours is too long. The 2 hours makes sense because you can bounce around and do stuff. The trick was like when the first time they did the drops, they had stacking issues. So like you could actually have multiple streams open and it was speed filling up the redeems.
oh, that's a smart idea. I wish I'd have figured that out, but I mean, I've got them all. I think there was only one of the campaigns where I missed the last one, but These skins they got coming out for this campaign, the what do they call it? The Mal something? Not Maleficent. Let me look. The Malagrin. Yeah, Malagrin.
Marshlight.
But they look pretty good.
Is it the Malagrin Marshlight skins, or is it a different line?
It just
of
says
skins?
Malagrin. It could be Malagrin. I don't know if there's a.
Yeah, but you just claimed the reward, didn't you?
Well, I'm
claimed
looking.
it in game. Tell me what it is.
Well, I
The
claimed it on
Savant
Twitch. You have to
skins
actually wait because when you claim it on Twitch, it then has to their bot has to go through the process and and then actually like.
Oh, no,
it
it
in
automatically
game.
goes in. It automatically goes in. It's actually they've changed it
Uh,
now, so it actually goes almost straight into the system.
Well, it does normally, but if there's a bunch being so I think it's pretty instant because it's not like. But during the Alliance tournament when the first one was going on, everyone was watching the Alliance tournament. It was backlogged because there would be times where it's like I'd claim it and it wouldn't show up for like 5 hours, and then I would get it in game after that. But
No. That was when they were doing it manually, dude. There was
No,
there
'cause
was
I remember the
a
chat,
dev. There was a dev handing out every one of those skins.
no, because
Yes,
I remember
there was.
Convict was in the chat. And he was saying, "Hey, if you don't get it, just give it time. The bot has to process all the commands, and it can
That
only
wasn't
do
till
one.
later.
It can only do one at a time. And so when you have like 1,000 people claim it, the bot sending one mail out at a time, it takes a while to get 1,000 mail codes out or whatever mail things.
Am I just out of my mind or something?
I think so.
Have I gone crazy completely?
No.
Yes, you have.
But
Thank God. It's about
I'll
time.
log in real quick and see what the skin is.
Monopoly on that.
I'm trying to do it too because I just got one as well, but I don't see it in my
Yeah,
redeem window.
Yeah, like I've generally when I claim them, they don't show up right away, but they do eventually show up.
That's fine. I got a skull on my ship right now, and that's perfectly okay with me.
You know what I wish they would have? You know, like they're putting all this focus on the Evermarks and like getting, Alliance logos, all that stuff on the ship. It's a lot of people aren't doing because like, okay, I live in nullsec. I don't want to fly into Jita or lowsec. Well, I'm not gonna fly into highsec. I have war decks, and so it's like, well, I gotta fly into lowsec to claim this thing. Like, can't I just do it remotely? Like, I wish you didn't have to go into the LP store. Like, you should just be able to, like, hey, I have Evermarks. Give me an Alliance emblem on my ship wherever I'm at, like in a station or in a citadel. I wish that was the thing. I don't like that you have to. There's only like 8 locations that you have to go to specifically to get them. Because like I have a bunch of Evermarks, and I would put my Corp or Alliance stuff on my ship, but I haven't done it because it's a pain in the ass to go get them.
That's. We'll have to see what CCP adds. I want to see how they're going to implement all these new Skinner things, all these other stuff, because that may drive some more mobility on it. But right now I'm not very big on it at all.
Yeah. Ooh, or Nero's Halcyon Dawn skin for my login bonus. That's a ship I use. Well, not often. So yeah, it's the Malagrin Marshlight skins. I have both of them. Retribution Prophecy. Activate. Boom. Yeah, the Evermark thing, I like them because I mean you can see the logo. I put a Habit logo on all my ships, but I don't want to fly out to lowsec to get. I think there's actually one in Pure Blind, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what? It would be really funny is if they put a holograph on mobile depots.
The mobile depot. Oh yeah. Or the.
I don't know if I would pay for that.
I don't know if I'd pay
True,
for a
but
Mobile
maybe
Depot
that'd be-
one.
Well, maybe that'd be just a cheap little item to
But
throw
then again,
down.
like
so,
a lot of people put the Mobile Depots up in high sec as like advertising things.
Oh
Yeah,
my
those are
god.
Really annoying because you'll see like a bunch of them, like a bunch of like Russian like Cyrillic.
or maybe
like
use the
50 them on a
Evermart
gate.
to make an ad. It goes on the billboard.
It's like you just got a bunch of text spam all over the gate because there's fucking
Oh,
Mobile
yeah,
Depots like just riddled everywhere, and no one wants to go kill them because no one's gonna war deck the group just to kill their Mobile Depots off the gate. It's fucking annoying.
Drop a couple other mobile depots next to them and say like Slava Ukraini.
I don't know if I'd. I don't want to. Yeah, that's. I don't
Try that
want to
Mimitar space. It's been a little bit spicy lately.
But it's just.
I guess what would be more spicy, that or dropping like Amar Victor cans in Minotaur space?
do that around the Amar area. That might make them go a little nuts.
I'm man. So like the Zarzak missions that you have to do. So would I have to sign up for a faction warfare group?
You will have to
No.
sign up for either Garista's FW or Angel FW, and then you'll do the you do the content in the Fact War Zone and get LP for that faction.
Okay, so you don't have to actually. Okay, so you're not having to join like Calmill, or anything like that. Okay, sweet.
No, you would
You
join.
can join Garista or Angel.
Right. Okay. And
I
that
hope
doesn't.
they
I
fix
can do it
the
individually. I don't
standings,
need my
though.
corp to be
Correctamundo.
sick. Okay, I'm actually gonna do
Now
some of
it's
that shit.
probably like how it is existing. Corps can restrict who you can enlist with. So
I'll be
I'm,
so mad if my corp doesn't allow me to enlist with.
I'm gonna go
someone.
PM Tucker right now and ask him to block Angel and Garista just for that.
Well, you can't block both.
Yes, you can.
I'd quit. No, I don't know if I'd quit, but I would give a strongly worded Eve mail.
Well, I
showing,
mean,
like,
while we're on this subject of the faction warfare and the new pirate stuff, what do you guys think about them trying to do some sort of adjustment to standings?
So what I would love to see, and this is feedback that I've given directly to CCP, is standings essentially being utilizing the ACL system. Like the ACL system originally, like at when CCP first gave that to us back in like 2016, Siegel had talked about how like this it was just starting with like things for structures, but later on they could expand its use outside of that. And I think it is potentially very powerful.
Did all that get shelved? Because I think they're also talking about some new changes to the SOV yet again. I mean, I like what you're talking about, but I'm just, what if they go a whole different direction? That kind of throw things off a bit.
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with SOV, so like I need to see more about that.
What about I still have some of the old ESS, so I know some of the weird stuff about ESSs. And these old ESSs actually had the capability for like LP and standings with the Empire that was attached to the ESS,
Yes.
like you had.
Oh, you're talking about the ones that you like deploy
The
in a
old,
system?
yeah, the old deployable
Yeah,
ones.
like,
Yeah,
that was funny
printed
because
LP.
yeah, it was funny because it was like a lot of groups were just putting them out there, but then you get the people like, I don't want the ESS because people could blow it up or steal it, and I want my money. JG Whitworth, I want my money now.
I do miss though when you were able to set those up with bubbles around them next to a Dickstar Pass, and then people would be like, "Oh, there's a thing over here that I can go and like steal all
Just
your
death.
LP and shit." And nope, never mind. They just get
Yeah.
fucking hazed.
Well, so the old ones didn't have the auto
Chuck Testa.
payout. The old ones didn't have the auto payout. You had to go and manually pay it out. And the thing is, like, but you had to build it up to get it wasn't like just a flat, like, you get this much bonus. It's like you had to work and build up the thing, and then the bonus would eventually get to like, what, 10% or something like that. So once people got it built up, and now they're at like peak level ratting for the whole time, but you're like, okay, I want to log off. I want to get paid out, because if these guys what if people come in and they all dock up because they come in a ganking group and they all dock up and they steal my money out of the ESS because these guys are trying to let it run for fucking 10 hours. And so a lot of people were, the old ESS is a lot of people, it was a love and hate. Like they were awesome, but people fucking hated them too. And you'd get contention, like people would put an ESS up in the system. People were like, fuck, I don't get that shit out of here. Like, it was a bunch of delicious drama back then, but
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
I
legitimately
like
needed
the system
now.
now. I like the system now is like it's all there and it pays out every 2 or 3 hours and like that's it. You don't have a choice. It just happens. So I'm fine with them now.
There was actually a weird discussion that Angry Mustache was talking about, and I happened to read it, and he said that supposedly if the ADMs get down to a certain point, it basically stops putting stuff into the reserve bank.
Does it?
Not seen that.
There's some sort of interaction with the code that's messed up.
I don't know. I mean, maybe if it gets over a certain amount, I've never seen it do that. I mean, but when
Supposedly,
I'm usually running a
that's
system.
why a lot of
Usually,
the links aren't coming up.
like when I go I'm usually ratting in the system. There's maybe like 2 to 5 other people ratting at a time in the system. So I don't think the bank that the ESS that in the system, I don't think I've ever seen it get above like 150 to 200 million before it pays out. So
Skyhawk,
Yeah.
do you think it would be bad if they actually added just a little extra bonus, like maybe an LP chip to the ESS?
I mean, LP for who though?
They used to do that back in the day before ESSs were in all the systems. You could pick
Mhm.
Amar, Caldari, Galenti,
It
or
was-
Mimitar, and it would give you LP to that navy.
Mhm.
I don't know that I am necessarily a good source on that one because I don't do shit with ratting. I hate ratting. I don't see why it would be bad though.
Just make sure it's a small amount that gets in there, so at
Yeah.
least doesn't get too overkill.
I think though that they're trying to go to a direction where you get LP primarily from going and doing stuff in the war zone. So
Mhm.
it might run against their goal to drive people to those areas.
Well, maybe if you make the amount more, like your LP gain in the faction warfare areas will be larger, but it's going to be specific factions. But then when you go out into the ESS or Concord, it's a little bit lower, but more consistent to get. Does that seem within reason?
I don't
Think
hate
about-
it. I don't know. I don't really have strong feelings either way on this one, honestly.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
I've never really fucked around with LP myself, and ratting is not a source of income for me. It's a way to kill time that I don't particularly enjoy.
Yeah.
I've been the reason why, because it's always been something interesting and curious for me. It's because once you get to a certain point with your skills, LP turnover, bonuses, and other stuff like for missions and other things that you do, even standings become really kind of that's not much of an issue. Yeah, or your LP gain. So, but the only time where it gets a little squirrely is when you're dealing with faction warfare because you're having to get components that are not easy to just grind through unless you do the faction warfare missions, and the faction warfare missions can easily tank your standings. And so it's a really kind of weird situation at the moment. Because if you really want to get the big bucks out of the LP stores, the items that you want to get it for, you actually really put your backside into the ground with standings.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
that's exactly why, right now I'm staying away from most of the faction warfare stuff because I actually have positive standings with all of the races, and I'm slowly grinding to be able to do the epic arc for every race. Essentially, my long-term goal is to have maxed out standings with all of the empires, just because.
I've been doing faction warfare for the last 6 weeks in Mimitar and Galente, and I've never seen a negative standings effect for Amar or for Kaldari.
Well, it's because when you're doing the faction side, like the actual faction warfare sites, it's not a problem. But when you're
You're
doing
saying when you're
faction
doing
warfare
missions. Oh,
yes, because
when you're being a turbo
you're trying to
nerd.
do yeah, because when
Because you're going
when you're
against the other militaries.
items on the LP store, you can get all the LP, but you need like the insignias in order to redeem certain items, and they're huge amounts. In order to get them, you have to run certain missions, or you have to do missions outside of faction warfare. And if you do them wrong, or you shoot the wrong structure, you can dive your standings for a particular faction. Sometimes only like in like 1 or 2 missions. Yeah, that's the only thing I have a problem with the faction warfare LP is because that's one of the reasons why you don't see like the faction guns or even faction repairers as often, because they require so much more to pull out of the LP store. Whereas things that can be turned around really easy, like ammunition and even ship hulls, can be just thrown out real fast and easy.
They need really off topic, but they need a remote hull repping Logi ship.
One of the factions gets bonuses to that, doesn't it? The Galente one.
I haven't flown any of the faxes, so I have no clue.
The Logis
Yeah, I'm
do
not
have
sure.
some.
Like you have like the
They're
shield
drones.
bonus ships and the armor bonus ships, but where's the fucking hull rep love? Like instead of it giving
Yeah, well, because
bonuses to
Kaldari
amount,
and Amar the capacitor
like
plus another.
because like the bonuses to the hull rep one, it could just be, instead of it being, range, or maybe give it range bonus, and maybe instead of giving it amount repped, or maybe give it a small amount rep, but like have it reduce cycle time for hull reps, and then all of a sudden hull reps would be good on that ship. I don't know, but
Yeah, because that's one thing. Like the hull reps.
I know hull
It's actually
tank
kinda
is meant to
weird
be a
because if you-
buffer. Hull tank is meant to be a buffer. It's not really meant to be like a rep style.
Like able, because here's like one of the things I was pointing out to somebody today, because I was joking about it, but I pointed out like you can get in certain situations you get like 84%, 80 to 84% hull resistance.
Wait, how?
Just kind of crazy. Well, most of the time it's
Most
abyssal.
hulls are 0, or they're an amount, and then you put like a damage control is the only module that gives you hull resist.
Yeah, damage control. But then when you modify the damage control with abyssal mutaplasmid, it increases the hull resistance.
Right, but I mean you're limited on like that's not a you can't rely on like, oh, everyone has to get this abyssal, because you have to wait for people to roll those, and they have to roll well and all the other stuff.
But they're pretty good at adjusting it, like from normally maybe you might have about 60% to like 75%. Then you have other things in the game right now that can push it easily over
60,
80
most
to
of them
85%.
30 something.
Yeah, just to put get a fit out or get the simulation, put like a T2, or you can get on Pytha, and then you can take whichever one of the damage control, adjust the unstable.
Because I
or,
was just saying, like, I mean, like, other than you have the bulkheads and the damage control, that's like the only module. You can only have one damage control per ship, so it's not like you can, like, armor and shield ships where you can, like, okay, a bunch of shield extenders and then a bunch of,
You're
like,
also getting
resist modules and this module. You could have a bunch of that stuff. Like hull tanking, it's like you could put one damage control and then bulkheads, and then like that's all you got, and so like you don't have much resist from the damage control, and so like I don't know, but you get a shitload of buffer from the bulkheads. I don't know. I don't know why I went on
But
the
it works on
tangent.
some Galente ships, though. Like we've
Yeah.
seen in the AT where like hull tanked Budik's
the-
Navy issue seems to work really well.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Just
some
'cause
ships
how
that
well the
hull tank
bulkhead
works
scales.
well. I love what? Oh man, I forget what match it was, but when they hit that hull tank and everyone realized it was a hull tank, that was the most exciting shit ever. But
that's why. What was it, Bajorn? Who's the guy who was running for CSM? Who everybody was kinda-
Bjorn B.
Bjorn B, now known as CCPB.
You
Who's
mean
the
this
guy
this
who jumped
recent
off
this recency
who
speed?
got mad? No, the guy who got mad because CCP moved the abyssal arenas and then got all huffy on Twitter.
Torvald?
Torvald. Torvald loves whole tank.
Torvald Uruz.
Yeah, he loves whole tank. If you wanted somebody who's a specialist in that, talk to him. He'll tell you almost everything about it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, like, whole tanking is a very niche thing that sometimes works and most of the time is not very good. But I would just like, because it's
like-
kind of
it's
it's
also
almost like
kinda weird.
it's almost like a troll. Like sometimes it's really effective, but it's like aside from the super niche moments, it's like most of the time it's just kind of like a troll, like joking, like meme tank. And I would like to actually see whole tanking be a legit strategy. But that's just
I think-
Well, it is
think
like a
maybe-
whole tank Brutix is.
right. I'm not
Well-
saying that it's not a thing. I'm just saying it's just I don't know. I
It's
kind of
like
wish it was
active rep.
because you have
Hole.
local hole reppers, you have remote hole reppers, you have hole repping bots, and they're all garbage because the amount repped is shit. The cycle time is like 30 seconds, and it's like 30 seconds to heal like 120 hole points. It's like one, you're dead. Like by the time you start taking hole damage, you're probably, even if you're whole tanked, you're probably gonna get like 1 or 2 cycles off, and it's like, okay, you have. If you're whole tanked, you have what, like 7,000 or 8,000 whole points, and you're gonna rep what, like 400 of that once, and then you die. So it's just active whole tanking is not a thing. It's just not a thing. So I would like to see that be.
There was actually there was a weird time when it did activate. Due to that weird Federation defense booster, there was actually we were actually testing on Pytha before the boosters all went out, and there was actually some weird circumstances where you could get like a kind of crazy amount of HP per second, but it was like you had to be under the effects of this booster plus a fax in order to pull it off.
Mm. Oh, so maybe there is that fax that has the whole thing.
But it was just kind of a strange.
Yeah. Did you say it was
There
the
definitely is a fax that has whole rep bonuses, and I think it's the Galente version, but I'd have to double check.
So
You're a fax.
So you got the Apostle is Amar, the Lif is Minmatar, the Minakawa is Kaldari. I
Kaldari,
don't
and
even
then
know what the
Natsu
Galente
is-
one is. What's the Galente one?
Ninazu.
That's it, Ninazu.
Denaz. Okay, like obviously no one ever uses that one because I never see
It's
it
popular
used.
in wormholes.
Okay.
Because apparently you used to be able to like triple cap boost it, and you could basically not kill it till it ran out of charges, and you could have like several hundred charges on it.
Okay.
That
So
is
I-
exactly why when faxes first came out, that was the one that
Mm.
I was usually flying for exactly those reasons, and they were like fucking impossible to crack until they ran out.
Okay. Yeah, because it's all apostles and minnows these days, but like I think you see a Lif once in a while. I don't know what's the, because Lif is the shield one, right? It's also shield like a minnow, but it has what's the difference between the Lif and the minnow as far as bonuses?
The
No, we-
Lif
no,
is
we've done
better
it.
for active tank, and the Minnow is better for buffer tank.
Oh, okay, so it's all just about its own tank, not.
Yeah, let me check the bonus exactly.
Yeah, because like I know they're both shield reps, but I don't. Is the minnow stronger at shield repping, or are they both the same at remote shield repping, and then just have different local bonuses?
I think the bonuses to the amount of the remote reps is the same.
Yeah, that's what I was, okay. So their remote capabilities are basically the same. It's just I have skills to get into a fax. I think I've just never flown one. I don't know. Actually, no. I think there was one skill that was like I didn't have up to 5. That I was like I should probably have that to 5 before. I think it was the remote or the local capital reps, like capital repair systems or something. I was like, I should probably have, if I'm going to go into not siege, but what's it called, the if I'm going to go into triage, I should probably have level 5 local rep skills, because
Mhm.
at that point, like, my own local rep skills is what's going to prevent me from dying at that
So
point.
Drayden, so the Lif has a bonus to shield and armor reps, and to
Oh.
local shield booster amount. The Minokawa is shield reps only, but it has a resist bonus. So
okay,
it's
so the minnows.
yeah. So you use a
tank here.
Minokawa for buffer.
Right, yeah. And then okay, so the lift has a better local active tank, but if you're like trying to rep other people and yourself, you might cap out. So it's probably has cap issues doing both.
Well, if it's a suicide, if it's like a super cap fight, you drop suicide Minokawas. So
Right, because the buffer is going to help them against any kind of doomsday or anything like that. Or,
yep.
Yeah. So okay. So minnows are probably just beefier. That's why they're used. See you, Tabert. Have a good one.
So has anybody had any issues with the event sites? Like I've been noticing all kinds of weird stuff.
I
going on
died in
lately.
one. No, that's no.
Was it Tetramon?
User error.
I died in a Tetramon base because I hadn't been in one, and I thought the high sec ones were like going to be super weak, like because you know anomalies in null sec are rough, and then anomalies in high sec it's like okay you have like a few frigates and that's it. So I'm like okay these Tetramon bases in high sec are going to be super easy, and I warped into them like oh shit no this is the same as the null sec ones. I was like I was not prepared. I had like
Rip.
I had a pretty low trained. It's just a low trained alt PI pilot that had some skills to get into a, like she has skills to have a Tech 2 tank and Tech 2 modules on the, but they're not like fives. It's like barely the skill level you need to have Tech 2 this, Tech 2 that, Tech 2 that, and then she has some okay missile like light missile skills, but RLMLs are not good for ratting in those sites. But I just had her use those because, like I said, I just do like the calm abyssal sites on her for some of the log and dailies to get some skill points here and there. And in the comms, it's like in one clip of a rapid light missile launcher, you could kill all the rats in a room with one clip. You don't have to worry about the reload. But this site, no, you need to reload several times, and the clip reload on rapid lights is rough when shit is nuding.
Yeah, pretty.
Yeah, like when you have a curse and sentinels and everything nuding your ass and shooting, like you don't like reloading rapid light clips is. Like I died. I didn't realize what was in there.
I have a tri-rep Loki I'm playing with, and the Tetramon sites have really given me a really nasty wet moment.
Yeah, I mean,
because the problem is like because I think if they have oracles, and so the oracles are ABCs, and they are smacking my backside.
I never even got. I died in the first room, so it was 2 sentinels, a Cruor, a coercer, a curse, an augurer, and omen. Like that was in the first room, and I died to that because I was able to kill off all the frigates of the destroyer, but I was not able to kill the curse, and it neutered me out, so I couldn't even. And it was neuting me and pointing me, and I had no cap, so my tank turned off, and I was reloading, and I couldn't kill him, and it had an augurer, so I couldn't even kill. Like I couldn't get through all the armor and the hull in one clip, and by the time I reloaded, the augur had repped all the armor back up on the curse. So I was like, I'll never be able to kill this thing. I'm just dead.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's like I couldn't break the tank of it with the rapid lights. So it was just I didn't look online because Eve Uni. Afterwards I looked. I was like, Eve Uni has this thing on there. I could have looked at what's in there, but I just figured it was gonna be easy. But it's all right. It was like a 45 million disc loss. It wasn't a big deal, but it was just like, ah, shit. Well. Yeah, I need to go get a new one of those, but
like my area, I'm having a problem in my area where like I'm seeing like 10, 11, 12, sometimes up to like 13 or 14 of the normal Angel Cartel combat sites all over the place. Like way too many.
This was like a 0.9 high sec system. There was 3 of them in there.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, they're all over it. I'm thinking that they just are spreading them all over so that there's not like people fighting over the sites, and it's like anyone that wants to do them, you can find them and just do them.
Well, the spawn rate of combat sites seems a little low right at the moment. It might change next week.
I'm not sure.
So I'm kind of watching it, and people are complaining about the data site issue right at the moment.
There was one issue I had with the data site. So with the daily challenge or with the the challenges on the progress bar for the rewards. So on my other alt that's out in nullsec, I found a data site, hacked it, did it, and it gave me the like, hey, got the 20 points or whatever for doing one, and then it's like, okay, 1 out of 2. So then I was like, okay, now I have another one I could do for the day. And I found another site, hacked it, did it, didn't get the progress for the second one. it didn't give me another, because it was 20 points for the first one, 30 for the second one, and 50 points is what you needed for the first skin.
You have to do all 3 cans.
I always do all the cans in all my sets. I finished all the cans, got them all successfully, never failed a single one. So I did the first one, it gave me 20 points. Finished the second one, did not give me the 30 points, and it still said I had 0 out of 1 on that to do. I'm like, what? And then I got mad and logged off.
Did you see the new mechanics they've added to the game with this event? Okay, so next time when you guys run these combat sites, look below and watch it, because it'll pop up a little bar that will show not only the targets that you have to destroy, and it depreciates in color. And then if you get to the final battleship boss target, it'll then show you the shield, the armor, and the hull of the target.
A boss life bar, like in WoW?
Kind of like the AT ship bars.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, okay. So yeah, you get like a boss life counter. Like it's an Elden Ring or Dark Souls. You got the boss life bar.
But it's separated into shield, armor, and hull.
That's
but
cool.
it actually, like, depending on which wave you get, it'll actually tell you how many targets you need to take out, so that then you can proceed to the next room. But it was actually kind of interesting because, like, I don't remember this last year. This is new.
Yeah. Yes, and you must provide 1 boil per post.
If you've never had Cyan the Man's crawfish, it is amazing. He's an extremely good crawfish boiler.
Yeah, I'd never had crawfish. Well, technically I have, but I don't. It doesn't count. Olive Garden had their old seafood Alfredo, used to have some crawdads in it, but they were like these tiny little like mini shrimp. Those don't count.
Langostino lobsters. That's what they call them. They're actually prawns.
Yeah, these I think, like the Olive Garden thing I'm talking about, I think they were like more like the river crawdads. Like they were like smaller than shrimp. They were like mini shrimp sized things. They tasted good, but but yeah, going down there, did the crawfish boil, and it's more than just the crawfish are good, but also it's like you got there's like the sausage, the vegetables, the corn was really good. Like the what do you call it? Not the brine, the broth that he cooks it in. Is it brine?
No,
what do they call
I don't think it's a brine, but they put a ton of spices in it.
Well, yeah, it's there was a name for it. Cyan knows what it's called. It's like the name of the broth, whatever you call it, but it was fucking good, and it was like nice and spicy, had a really good level of spice. The flavor is delicious, man. It was fucking good. Like, definitely would recommend.
We have to have it at NOLA next year for sure.
And I think, didn't they do that in the first year, or no?
No.
That was the first they did. Okay, yeah. I would hope that. Well, yeah, it's a boil.
We only did it. We only did actual boil this year.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, sorry, it's a boil, but I mean, like, what, like the broth itself, like there was like the bags of spice.
What do you steam it in?
Yeah, like, well, it's not steam. It's just like cooking. It's like a big soup pot, and then, but it wasn't a brine. It was like a. What did you call the mix and the juice you kick it in? Like, I would say broth, but that's not what I don't know. He had a term for it.
Speaking of NOLA, I'm totally down to drink some more monsoons.
Yeah, or the.
That's probably Protocol is probably gonna be the first place I go to at New Orleans next year, depending on what time I get in.
I'm taking off. I'm falling asleep.
All right, see you
later.
Okay, take care. Take care.
Oh, just boil water? Oh.
Great and the Science Man.
Yeah. Science.
Science the other person
Science Man.
Yeah, Science. Well, he had 3 of them that night on top of whatever.
I didn't see what happened, so I get that. I know the November one because I was there for that.
Oh, no. I know the Scion thing. His wife got mad at him too because he got wait. She told him don't have any more. And then him and I went to go get some monsoons for everyone because I wanted one because I think he gave me like a taste of his. I was like, that's really good. And he's like, yeah, I'll show you where to get them. So we went to walk down to Portugal to get him, and which I thought like we was like, yeah, it's just around the corner, and then we ended up walking like a half a mile to get to the place. It was not around the corner; it was around the corner and down like 20 blocks. But
Portugal's like a mile from the fucking hotel.
well, yeah, from the hotel, but I mean like where we were at, which was about halfway there, but. 4 to 5 blocks. It was. I think maybe it was 4 to 5 blocks, but I swear we walked longer than that from where we were at. But anyway, we walked down there, and I was gonna get one, and then he was like he wanted a third one. I'm like, I'll get you one, man. And then who was Mace was with us. He was walking with us, and then we got there in November, and Urziel or no, it is November and Usul, yeah, November and Usils were there. We're like, oh hey, what's up? So I got them one, and then Rain wanted one, and so like I ended up getting like 9 of these things, and we're like walking.
And
back
then we
with
all
them.
showed up. It was like me, DJ, Ish, and Tiff.
Yeah. So we all showed up and like, but what's up?
What did they just? Did they just add a like? Okay, you know where the skill queue is? The skill circle. They just add a green check mark when you complete a skill.
Maybe. I haven't
So
paid
like
attention.
okay, if
I
you
only
were
have
to
that
do
happen
this
like
right,
once a month, so I don't know. I don't see it.
Oh, if you're
often.
online when it finishes, maybe. I've never noticed.
yeah, it does. Like it actually shoots up. Like it turns the whole icon green and has a check mark.
Probably. I don't think I've been online and logged in when a skill finished for a long time. Because on most of the time, if I'm logged in, it's on characters that are training shit for it's. Usually I log in. It's like, you know, maybe like once on my main character, it's like once a month. It's like one skill finished. I'm like, ooh, but
Yeah, my main right now is training. It's halfway through training all of the racial dread skills from level 4 to 5. So like it's a skill finishing once every 50 some days.
yeah, it's like, but then sometimes on my alts that are training other stuff where it's although now they're not, but I had multi-character training going on for a while, and it's like I would have them training just research skills, because I have a bunch of blueprints that I have a bunch of blueprints that are like level 10 in material efficiency, but they're all like level 0 in time efficiency. So I'm like, why don't I just have all my alts just be training these up while they're not doing much? So I've been training. It's like it was like laboratory operation 5 would be going for like 5 days or whatever, and all of a sudden it's like I'd log in.
Laboratory or laboratory?
Laboratory.
Oh
no, yeah, lavatory operation. No, laboratory operation. And so it's like I would be like 5, and be like, okay, and I'd say like, okay, it's 10 hours. I'd log in the next day. It's like that one finished, and then advanced laboratory operation like 1, 2, 3, and 4 also finished. So it's like I log in like 5 skills finished. I'm like, ooh, hell yeah, time to go put some blueprints in. But yeah, no, Cyan got super drunk, and then we went to like this hot dog place, and he got a little sick there, and then his wife had to take him home.
I just checked, just so you know, Drayden, the movie that I picked out is basically an hour and a half long.
Hour and a half. Oh, okay. Yeah, we could cut out here in a little bit to go watch that.
Yeah, it's about time to do like final shots, final thoughts if we want to go to movie night.
Have fun with new movie night.
Yep.
Unless you want me to say something.
I mean, yeah, well, I mean, we could do final. Yeah, we haven't done final shots and final thoughts in a while. Let me play the thing. Yeah. All right, I guess I'll start. So final shots, final thoughts for the evening. Stoked for Havoc, stoked for Vanguard. Gonna be giving them both a shot. Haven't done like any kind of low sec or faction warfare stuff. So the stuff in Zarzak, I'm gonna see what that's about and log it and well, not log it, but I'm like going down and trying to work on that. Also, fucking alligator fleet. Let's go. Shots. All right, Millet. I mean, you don't have to have a shot, but like, yeah. Any final thoughts?
Oh, you could probably hear that.
Nope.
I do have a ginger ale, so I'm good.
Oh, nice.
Well, just survive the Crimson Harvest and don't become a free pinata.
Nice. Scott?
All I'm gonna do a shot for is to the fact that I've already bought my FanFest 2025 ticket.
They're on sale already?
They announced them that they were on sale on Eventbrite at the closing ceremony, and I have already bought mine.
Damn, they usually don't go
I
on
think
sale
they were
until like
sold
a few
out
months
like a
before.
week after FanFest last year.
Wow, that's new because they used to not sell them until like what, 4 or 5 months prior?
Well, and considering that the next FanFest isn't until May of 2025,
Oh,
like-
they're not doing that one next year.
they're not doing it
Nope.
next year. They're kind of
Next
not
year, they're doing
quite.
the tour thing again then because they're doing
Yeah, they're
Vegas,
kind of
New
like
Orleans,
what they did in
Singapore.
2019.
What was it?
The from what I asked Fozzie about that, and he said that their plan, that CCP's plan going forward is to do FanFest every 18 months instead of every year. So it basically will be every third year we'll have no FanFest.
Okay, they'll have one early and then one late, one early. Yeah. Man, that's a person I haven't heard or seen anything from in a long time is Fozzie. I mean, I knew he wasn't, because if he left CCP, it would be announced, so we'd all know. But it's like, man, I haven't really.
He's like in some senior position now, so he's not that visible.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, man, I haven't seen or heard it. Also, Rise and Fozzie used to be anytime like updates or new stuff was coming out, like they were like the head of those projects. So
Yeah, Rise is in the same boat. They're both have kind of moved up, so they're not as visible anymore.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. I was wondering. It's like, man, I haven't seen them in a long time. Vlad, final shots, final thoughts.
I just want to give a shout out to all the organizers of all the meetups this year for things have gone smoothly.
Yeah.
And here's to another good year of that next year.
Yeah. Very good.
Right on.
All right. That said, we're gonna hop off. We're gonna watch a movie in Discord. So if anyone that wants to hop into Discord and watch, what was it called? Dickie something.
It is Dickie Roberts, former child star, starring David Spade. It's from the early 2000s, really when I think David Spade was in his prime, of putting out some good content.
Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna watch that and we'll head off. I should probably raid someone that also has drops, so in case people are doing the drop thing. Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna take a look. Unlucky's still going.
Thanks for that. You reminded me I needed to grab my drops.
Yeah. Let me look and make sure that he's doing stuff, because sometimes he just puts it on past broadcasts so that people can just hang out and get drops. I'd rather raid someone that's actively playing. So hold on. I apparently have an ad going on. Or no, this is a cinematic. Okay, I think actually Unlucky is ending his stream soon because he's saying just one. I think he's playing a few videos and then he's saying just one more. So actually, let me go look at who else. Let me look at the Evil Online streamers, see what's going on here. Got Chaos. He's doing some Crimson Harvest stuff. Crash Naps.
Yeah, we were talking about Crimson Harvest. Send it that way.
Okay, yeah, let's do Chaos then. We'll send him over there. How was it? Chaos 1298. So is it exclamation point? I think it's / raid, right? One, 2, 8, 9. All right, raid's been created. So we're gonna raid over there. All right, everyone have a good night. Oh, put Discord in chat. I will. Yeah, one sec.
You guys all have a wonderful rest of the evening. Enjoy your movie.
See y'all.
You too, man.
See you around.
All right, Discord's in chat. So before I hit the raid button, anyone that wants to watch the movie, click that to join the Discord.
will be in the movie night channel.
Yeah, and there's a voice channel called Movie Night. Just join that. We'll see you there. All right, I'm gonna hit raid. Let's go. All right, with that, I'm gonna stop the stream.